Now in 3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Mehcast, and oh, what a motley crew we are. I didn't want this absolute gold we're about to experience here go unrecorded. So please, Kevin, explain to us what your point about Kingdom Hearts being subpar was.
Excuse me?
My point, I'm not talking about the games themselves. I'm talking about in terms of how they adapt the Disney movies. That's what I'm referring to.
Into the game?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I mean. I didn't mean the games themselves were subpar. The games were good. It's just the way they adapted certain stuff, like, say, A Lion King, The Nightmare Before Christmas, as Aladdin, and Mulan, on with friggin' Sean Yu's army of rubber duckies.
Mullen.
No, hold on, no. The Kingdom Hearts 2 stuff you're mentioning is cap. They improved on
it can't be as bad as Pooh's Adventures, guys.
What do
Pooh's
you
Adventures was not like a canon
Wait,
thing,
what do you
mean
by that? And a lot of the stuff they adapted from the movies in Kingdom Hearts 2 was not all that well done. Like, it recreated some of the cinematography, but it didn't really, recreate a lot of the atmosphere and whatnot.
The fact you could explore the worlds, though, is something to not scoff at.
Kind of, and the thing is, at the very least, with Kingdom Hearts 3, they kind of tossed aside the whole, yeah, we could actually put people in this world now. Make it feel big as opposed to looking big. Because you could make it look as big as you want, but it's going to be very barren. If you get my meaning.
So I'm completely lost
anyway.
Now, how do I get back to Kanto?
Okay, let me explain, Alex. So, did you go talk to Professor Elm?
Okay, Professor Elm just called me. Okay, so I'm going to have to go back to talk to him now.
Yes, go talk to him in the Pokemon lab, get the SS ticket, and go to Olivine City and get on the ship.
Oh, that seems awfully German. The SS ticket. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Cyanwood is where we need to go?
No, Olivine.
Olivine.
Oh, yeah.
You were working so well earlier.
Yeah, I was having a problem earlier with this emulator. Well, I was having a problem just now with this emulator. Or for some reason, it wasn't showing any video, just like my laptop was on Saturday morning.
Anyway, so as much as I would love to show off, as much as I would love to show off the rest of Pokemon Soul Silver, that would require me having to go out of my way to, I'll play the game on a day-to-day basis, which, because of my work schedule, I literally can't.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Because as I only have access to my computer at, I from 6 to whatever time I end up going to bed on most weekdays, and on...
Yeah, I keep forgetting you don't live by yourself.
Hello, sound designer.
Well, it's also down to the work schedule. Like I can't get to my computer until 5 o'clock most days.
Yeah.
That's assuming I leave work at exactly 5 o'clock. I can come straight home and don't have anything else to do on the way back.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, I made sure to check.
Gizmo, you want to talk about the meme you posted earlier on Asa's Nest, the meaning behind the meme? And do you want to post the meme here too?
Okay. So, for those who don't know, recently there was a trailer that came out for a new
the Craven
called Oye Primo or Oye Primos or whatever, and people were not happy. Basically, it's about a girl living in the... Okay, so see if I can remember this. I watched it only a couple of times because it was so fucking cringe, and of course I had to use that.
I love this key item.
Yeah, and guys, Gizmo, you are Latino, right?
Latino, Hispanic, I don't know the fucking difference, but I don't care enough to correct.
Or no, wait,
You are
no,
of
wait,
Spanish
we gotta
descent.
call you Latinx now. Sorry, Gizmo. I
Yeah,
don't make the
that's why I'm
rules.
not really into all this Hispanic, Latino identifying bullshit because either way, I have to do with Latinx,
Yeah.
Hispanics. Fuck all that. Fuck all that, man.
Yeah,
That's why
see,
I'm going like,
yeah,
oh, I'm
see,
Hispanic,
to
I'm
all the
Latino.
motherfuckers watching this, and by motherfuckers, I mean possibly one or two people. One of those people, probably Minute World.
Minute World.
Yeah,
So, like I
yeah,
was trying to say,
Hispanics do not like the word Latinx, so please stop you. So, yeah.
it was to the point
Okay.
where some college decided to give me a letter saying we invite any Latinx people. I'm like, oh yeah, fuck that. I'm not going to your event now, bitch. So, like I was trying to say, there's this new cartoon that came out that was called Oye Primo. It's supposed to be about this Hispanic Latina girl that has her cousins moving into her house. And what people were pissed off at was not only was it the art style, because of course they had to use that art style, but also a couple of other things. Like for one of the girls is called Piquita, which apparently means little pussy in Spanish, and the other one is apparently because when someone took a picture of the crew that are working on the show, there wasn't a single person of color. And when I say this, it was a legitimate concern because this is about a Latina girl, and nobody on the staff looked like they knew anything about Latino culture, because nobody looked like they were from any Spanish speaking country. I'm talking like no one from Spain, no one from Guatemala, no one from Peru, no one from Mexico, nothing like that. And it doesn't look. And you could say I'm just judging them by their appearance. Yeah, okay, that's fair. But then you realize these are the same kind of people who will make people sound like they're speaking Spanglish by not really speaking Spanglish.
English. So when
I say Spanglish, I mean like, oh, I have to go and visit my abuelito. No one really says it like that. What they say is, I have to go, and then they say the rest of it in Spanish, or they say the first part in Spanish and then they say grandpa. It's sort of like that. So instead of saying, oh man, I gotta go and pick up some.
I have to disagree with you there. I worked with a Puerto Rican girl, and she would do that.
Okay, but that's just one. What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, a large majority of people that speak Spanglish would pretty much literally just have half and half. They're not selective with their words, and sometimes they would even just speak a little bit of English before they continue the whole conversation in Spanish. I say this because I've been in so many family gatherings, so many birthday parties, so many holiday parties where Spanish speakers would start off saying something in English, but then would continue the rest of the conversation in Spanish. And I think it was my dad's. I'm going on mauling on my dad's side, improving my mom's side. Boom! Now I remember. And this would happen a lot, and I mean a lot, even with the people who were like English is their first language. It would happen constantly. And that's what a lot of people are catching on with. They're saying like, "Oh, no, this isn't really real Spanglish. This is just TV Spanglish."
Okay, so Kevin.
And one more thing.
City. Which building do I go into?
So one last thing about this show.
Go to the bottommost building.
One last thing about this TV show. Apparently, they pretty much pulled a Bridget. I say this because they just announced that the reason why it's titled the way it is, Oye Primo, or just Primo, is because the main girl doesn't speak a lick of Spanish. So that's why it's pronounced that way.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, that's why I say they pulled a Bridget. It's like, oh, she was trans. Funny. You didn't say that from the beginning. It's like, oh, well, she doesn't speak a lick of Spanish. Funny you say that now after all the backlash.
Okay, where do I go to get the ticket?
You had to. Did you talk to Professor Elm?
I don't know where Professor Elm is.
He's in the building that's next to your house.
I'm still
where my
pissed off
house
about that
is.
art style.
New Barktown.
Gizmo, what did you think of Mucha Lucha back in the day? Because
Mucha
was
Lucha was
actually
badass. That
videos.
one was a lot more. That one, from what I gathered, had a lot more. A bigger fan base than I thought it had. Like people are making fan art. There was there was legitimate games back then that people enjoyed playing online. No, I'm not talking about the beat 'em up. I'm talking there was actual when Flash was still in its infancy. There was games back then that people played that was about Mucha Lucha, from creating your own wrestler to making that wrestler fight other wrestlers, create a wrestler, memory games, that kind of thing.
I forget. I know. Okay, so was the second part of the Code of Mask Wrestling tradition or family?
Honor, family, tradition, and
donuts.
Yes.
Joke. Sometimes as a joke, they would also say donuts.
Yeah.
Would be honor, family, tradition, and then you see the uncle right there, go donuts too.
Donuts. Oh no, that's the ghost of
That's
donuts.
the other guy.
I remember that episode.
I'm in Olivine City. Let me see where I am, because I think
New Barktown is in the easternmost part of Johto. Oh,
my rare every trading
I'm in the right place.
Oh, I got 5.
Route 39. I'm at Olivine City.
Oh, the Elite trading card.
I need to go left.
I'll wrestle you for it. Pulverizing pinball.
Okay, so has anybody seen the trailer for Kraven the Hunter?
Yes,
I saw it.
It
was interesting.
It's something. I mean,
it's very violent.
Thing is,
the Rhino is going to be a dude who injects himself with the Rhino juice, and Kraven the Hunter literally got bit by a radioactive lion, which doesn't make a goddamn lick of sense. But okay.
I mean, Kraven was turned into a lion man.
Okay, that sounds like something out of a parody
but only in
skit.
Spectacular Spider-Man.
This is something out of us parody skits. I got bait by a radioactive spider. Oh, I fell into radioactive.
Oh, and funnily enough, the actor they got to play his dad, Russell Crowe.
That man's just racking up comic book roles.
He sounds more like Kraven than the actual guy they got for
Kraven. I was a little weirded out about that.
What the hell?
And we know Aaron Taylor Johnson can do the fucking accent, because that's the accent that he had as fucking Quicksilver, you know? But now he's Quicksilver too, and it's
I've said this before. I've said it many times. I'll say it again. Could we just stop trying to make supervillains? Every supervillain.
We need to milk that Spider-Man deal,
dude,
man.
Just make a bank robber. Just make a world dominator. Just make a guy who does it for the lulz, man. What is wrong with that?
Sony needs to keep that Spider-Man.
If the Joker, look, I like the Joker movie, but come on, do we really need to make the Joker sympathetic out of all the villains? Out of all the Batman villains, you couldn't.
They did try to make him. They tried to make him somewhat sympathetic in the Killing Joke.
Okay, but that doesn't really make him sympathetic for the Joker.
Yeah, the Joker is kind of has this.
He's not completely sympathetic. He does shit that's
and plus
completely reprehensible. He did kill the fucking Waynes. Well, he didn't kill the Waynes.
No, but that's the thing. That's the Joker.
To kill the Waynes, you know.
Yeah.
And
that's
also
the Joker. That's what I'm saying. Though that's the Joker. Now, of course, someone's going to be sympathetic. What they did was they made the Joker sympathetic by giving him a background. What I'm saying is they made the Joker sympathetic by giving him a background, an actual origin story, not an origin story.
Comics.
No, and then on what I'm saying, look, we know.
Comics.
Well, we don't know
we don't know his story. We don't know his entire background. That's the
origin story. What choice? Don't you?
They've been making up stuff like, oh, he was a robber. He was part of the mafia. He had a girl, and then he fell into a.
The funny thing is that the Joker even says
that's part of the mystery.
If you're going to have an origin story, you might as well make it multiple choice.
Right, but here's the thing, though. The beauty of the Joker is we literally know nothing about him, and he just does this for the lulz. I love the fact that we know nothing about him, and nobody knows his
I mean,
past.
hell, Batman had tamed the Mobius chair that could have answered any of his questions, and it couldn't even tell him who the Joker really was.
Right, and that's how powerful this Mystique.
Anyway,
right, and
after all that,
we're getting something like the Joker. Look, I'm not going to say it's a bad movie. It's anything but. It's a great movie, but it's a great movie.
Let's look over our team.
Story of it's the great movie when it's a story about mental health. It's a great story when it comes to like the story of what happens if the person who needs help doesn't get help. Where if a guy who's in mental anguish is treated poorly. That's a great movie. But as a Joker movie, I'm scratching my head. Like, why of all characters would you pick the Joker to make sympathetic? Look,
because this is all about one bad day.
That's anybody, though. That can happen to anybody.
Right.
And they could have just made it. I feel like if they removed the Joker name, it would still be a good movie, but no one will go to watch it because it doesn't have the Joker name. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Just some rando? What? Okay. What? Like, there might not half, at least by half. I'm gonna think that if they didn't have the Joker name, the audience would have been cut in half because nobody like who the fuck is this guy? Joaquin Phoenix is playing some rando that we would feel sorry for, but you know,
they'll make more money than either Deadpool movie.
No, but god damn it! Look, if it had the Joker name, it wouldn't. If it didn't have the Joker name,
Such
it wouldn't make as
dialogue.
Fucking dialogue. Okay, that's right. If it didn't have, because of the Joker name, never mind star power, never mind what it's based on, just the Joker name. Literally everyone knows who the Joker is. You don't have to read a comic book to know who Batman or the Joker is. You at least heard of the name. If it didn't have the Joker name, it wouldn't have sold or have been a big of a blockbuster as it was. I can assure you that if it didn't have the Joker name at all, and it named it something else, but it had the same everything else, like take away everything that was Joker, it had the same everything else in it, and it was a tale about a guy snapping one day.
All right, Mary, when you bring me out, introduce me as the clown.
The audience would be either cut in half at worst, or a quarter of that at best. Because while it's still a good story, you're still trying to make the Joker sympathetic.
Like they did in the comics,
dude.
They've done it before.
Those were what-if stories, though. Those were what-if stories.
And more... Well, this is a what-if story, dude.
Yeah, this is an Elseworld movie, Gizmo.
It's a DC Black Label movie. Hey, this is the Elseworlds content.
Yeah, this isn't a thing that's definitively canon. It's just something that people ultimately were like, this could be an acceptable origin story.
Yeah,
it's like
it doesn't share any actors, directors, or writers in common, and with anything from like the DCU, from the Reeves verse, from the DCEU, from anything. Like,
yeah,
it's all off on its own. It's its own continuity. Yep.
And meanwhile, Red, whose team is buffed up in comparison to the original game. What the? Oh wait, never mind. Kale's gonna kill you, Blastoise.
What the?
Anyways, the Flush came out.
The Flush.
The Flush finally came out.
The Flush.
It's only been delayed for 11 years, I think.
All right. By the way, Gizmo, since you were probably not here for the previous streams of Soul Silver, or aside from the last one, the last couple, my team is literally based off a Led Zeppelin motif. Some of them are named after band members, and the last two are named after songs.
Okay.
Neat.
The two that are named after songs are My Gengar and Kingdra. Gengar is named after Stairway to Heaven, and Kingdra is named after Kashmir.
Okay.
I just think it's because Alex was going with a Guns N' Roses motif for his Pokemon Crystal playthrough, so I figured let's go with a Led Zeppelin motif here.
Okay.
Oh, and my lead trainer is named Plant.
Yeah, speaking of Hispanic superheroes, though, speaking of being Hispanic and superheroes and shit like that, Barry Allen's Hispanic in this.
Because of course they had to. And so I saw both both the actors who play a Barry's parents in this universe. I'm like, how would these two even come remotely close to creating Ezra Miller through sex?
It's a very good question.
Because I saw what the actress who plays Nora Allen looks like, and she is beautiful.
Yeah. So, Nora Allen is played by a literal Spanish actress. She is from Spain. She is Spanish.
And she is gorgeous.
Yeah. She has a full-on Spanish accent. No, none of this, from Mexico, from Puerto Rico. No, she is Spanish. And Barry Allen is now Hispanic in the DC. What? I don't know if this is the DCEU. Quite frankly, I don't know if this is in any continuity, because it doesn't make a lick of sense. Like, this movie is a mess, and I'm gonna have to have a word with Ben about his taste in film later on.
Make a new character.
I've had many words with Ben about his taste in anything, but guess who doesn't want to listen to me? Mr. Benjamin.
Because Ben has been gassing this film up, and while I can see some of what he sees in it, there's also problems with it. Oh, I forgot to turn the audio on for this.
Michael Keaton kills himself.
Yep, I saw that.
Oh, kind of.
Yeah,
the game audio is what I forgot to turn on.
Oh my god.
So at least
thank God Kashmir survived.
But
I swear, if I didn't do any of the grinding that I had to do for this, my Kashmir would have died, and I would have had a lot of trouble with Red's Charizard. Hell, Typhlosion wouldn't have been able to beat Pikachu.
The strongest Pikachu ever.
Level 88 in my version, Alex. Level 81 in your version.
Nice.
Is it overkill? Maybe.
Yes. Your Red's team is a bit more rounded since he has an Espeon as opposed to a Lapras in my version.
Could I please have a complete map, guys? Because I can't see New Bark Town. I can't find New Bark Town.
New Bark Town is in the easternmost part of Johto.
You said to go to Olivine City.
I assumed you already went to Professor Elm's lab.
I just got the call.
Oh my god.
I don't know where I live. What do you think I do? Play this game?
Yes?
Alright, go to Cherry Grove City. You know where that is.
Yeah, Cherry Grove, and then go east from there.
Now I'm in New Bark.
Go to Cherry Grove.
Rest in peace, East Martinez.
Jesus.
Don't worry, this isn't a Nuzlocke. I'm not insane. Because Gen 4 with Nuzlocke is hard. Especially with Platinum.
Yeah. Cynthia, so many roadblocks in that game. Cyrus.
Alright.
Cynthia,
all right, Lee. You're gonna carry us to victory.
Already, unfortunately. Yeah, so the Flash in a lot of ways, the Flash reminds me of Justice League.
Oh dear, that's troubling.
Legends of Tomorrow.
It is over! I beat Red.
You know, I wish it reminded me of Legends of
Player
Tomorrow.
defeated Pokemon Trainer
I
Red.
wish I was a llama.
Ellipses is all
Well,
he has
you know,
to
his
say.
Barry is Hispanic now, just like how Wally West is now black. So, yeah.
And that's a different Wally West, though. There are
And
just like how
there
Jimmy
are
Olsen
3
is
different
called
Wally
black.
Wests.
And Red just teleports away.
He used to escape, bro.
Wait, why is Wally West black?
Okay,
don't know.
so
Yeah,
there's
fucking
classic
Irish
Wally West,
black.
And then there's
Black Wally
Wallace.
West, who's
And
their
then there's
younger cousin.
Wallace West.
Am
Yeah,
I
and
allowed
then
to
there's
ask?
Wallace West, who the 2 of them are named after.
All right.
No, I just
I'm
like to
finished.
assume Red just used
with-
an escape rope or something.
They just
Yeah,
wanna fuck
so,
you.
yeah, by the way, Ezra Miller is Dutch German Jewish. So, he is the least Hispanic thing you can get. But, yeah. So, we're departing soon. Please get on board. Considering the last ship of this type I got on capsized, I'm a little bit reluctant to do that, but if you're forcing
Oh,
me to,
don't worry.
okay.
This one doesn't capsize.
Awesome.
You just gotta roam around a bit,
Yeah,
and
you
fight
want
some trainers, and find a little girl. Oh, and then you'll
Yeah.
arrive in Kanto.
Yeah, do you want to go ahead and ask me why I think it reminds me of Justice League?
Okay, why does it remind you of Justice League?
Well, because Batfleck is out of character and the movie isn't very good.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Also, they cut Batfleck's name from the credits, so...
Oh, that's just stupid.
Yeah,
He's in the goddamn movie.
Well, he's in the movie, and you know who else is in the movie?
Who?
George Clooney.
What? As
Yeah,
what?
Hey?
As who?
as Batman.
Oh, are they
Does
doing
he
a
have the bat nipples, Alex?
Oh, wow,
No,
really?
but Michael...
No,
but
no.
Michael Keaton has the bat nipples.
Why does he have them?
Because for
Yeah, but
some
at least
reason they put the
Alicia's-
sonar suit from Batman and Forever and Batman and Robin in Michael Keaton's Bat Cave.
Hey, at
Damn
least they gave
Damn it,
Alicia
Barry, you
Silverstone
fucked
the
the
bad
pie
nipples
too
in the
hard.
front butt.
Hey, I'm
didn't bring the
gonna
bat-
be real.
Fortunately, they haven't brought the Bat credit card back, but, you know...
I'm gonna be real with you. I actually like the idea of George Clooney Batman. It's just I don't like the idea that they made him very.
They screwed over
Very,
Joel
very kid-friendly.
Schumacher.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
screwed,
Wait, what?
They screwed
Oh, yeah.
everybody in that regard.
Wait,
It's
what?
like- No, they screwed... Warner Brothers screwed everybody.
You can't.
They screwed
have a
over the
Batman that's
DC animated
scary.
universe. Or the
You can't
DC
have a
animated
Batman
movie
that's
universe.
scary because you know what will we put on the McDonald's Happy Meals? Fuck your Happy Meal.
Yep.
Fuck
Yeah,
your Happy
um,
Meal.
So the
At least
movie
that's
starts
pretty
off with Barry Allen complaining about how he's basically the Justice League's errand boy, which is bizarre for a number of reasons, because like we haven't it's been 6 years since Justice League was supposed to come out, and 2 years since the movie actually came out. So you know, there's a bunch of shit we didn't see. In the time between the Flash movie being announced and it actually coming out, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seasons of the Flash TV show. And
Oh yeah,
say what
that's
you
just
will
kinda
about
like
it,
that finality.
they got content out there. The quality of that content was dubious at times. In fact, it was dubious most
it was
of the
good.
time. But-
I thought
But the Flash TV show was there. And like, you know, I was 15 when Arrow came out. And Arrow
You were
was
15. How old are you now?
I'm 26.
Oh, I'm 31.
Yeah, Arrow literally came out 11 years ago. Like the
fucking
Arrowverse,
Fuck!
the Arrowverse began and died while they were developing this fucking movie. Yeah, like we've seen the highest of highs and the lowest of lows out of the Arrowverse. And rather unfortunately, the Arrowverse went to shit and now, they don't want to acknowledge that it existed anymore. Like, the only remnants of it we have are Superman and Lois, and while that is a pretty good show, they're not, like, there's an entire legacy that they could be acknowledging that is absent from this film. Like, Jay Garrick shows up in this film, and
Ooh.
he's... Yeah, guess who he's not played by?
A good actor.
No. He's not played by the guy who played the Flash in... Oh, Froggy is trying to learn Hydro Pump. Did he learn Hydro Pump?
Hi, my name is Frogger, and I run across the screen.
That didn't answer my question, so I'm going to ask it again. And should Froggy try to delete an older move to make room for Hydro Pump?
Remove the Froggy.
Kevin, you remember that Starbomb song?
Because Hydro Pump is one of the most powerful all-water type move.
Okay, so I have Surf, Waterfall, Body Slam, and Rain Dance, and I know I need to keep Surf. So Waterfall, Body Slam. Remove Body Slam.
Yep.
All water, man.
Yep.
Okay.
And now, as I mentioned, I'm going to go back a whole generation in Pokemon with Emerald.
So Jay Garrick was notably played by the actor's name escapes me at the moment. But in the Flash TV show, he was played by the actor who played Barry's dad, who was also the guy who played the Flash in the 90s TV show, where Mark Hamill also played the Trickster. And, yeah, so,
That was a cool.
Jay Garrick is not played by this guy in that.
Hello, not
To the best
Dan
of my
Green.
knowledge, he's not actually played by anybody in this.
What?
Professor
Yeah.
Birch is voiced by Dan Green.
And,
And Green, real name, gimmicks.
while all of Henry Cavill's scenes have been cut from this film, and I do mean all of them, his terrible CGI digital likeness does make an appearance. In that they created a surreal 3D CGI model of his body that shows up during the during some of the sequences where Barry rewinds time. And
Guys,
this
I've got
is,
a question before you go on, Alex.
yeah.
Should I be a guy because I have a Y chromosome, or should I be a girl because girls are cute?
Man,
You should be a
everyone
girl
like
because
knows
you want to
me.
look at booty.
Yes.
I mean, he's 11.
That's misogynistic thinking and pedophilia tendencies, dude.
And again, like
this is
I said,
why
everyone wants to
Gamergate was a
anybody.
thing. I know it's not 2012, but it feels like it to me.
Gamergate
Gamergate
didn't happen until 2014.
Who is
Gizmo.
more hated by SJW?
Okay,
Kevin or Alex?
Gizmo, what is your vote? Should I be a guy or a chick?
Whatever.
Booty shorts, man.
Because it's my United States of whatever. Pick a girl.
She's 10.
Like that sentence stopped at the Pokemon fans, but
I see
man.
children in the wiki. I see children in the anime.
you-
I see children in everything around me.
You know what? I'll just be a boy. I'll just be a
Girl.
boy again, just because.
Oh, you wuss.
Well, anyway.
All right, what am I naming my protagonist? Because I want to pick a different motif this time.
Donald Trump.
Frazier.
Hang on.
Frazier.
Hang on.
Donald Trump.
Richie.
Donald
How about
Trump.
Frazier?
Rippaverse.
Richie. RITCHIE.
What motif is that?
Bon Jovi.
No. Name him
Bon
Hugh.
I was going to
Jovi.
say Frazier.
Richie Sambora is the lead guitarist of Bon Jovi during the era where the band mattered.
Alrighty, I'll go with a Bon Jovi motif this
I don't
time.
know. I can't remember who the guy John replaced him with is, but he fucking sucks.
I was gonna say name him Hugh Jazz.
Huge ass.
So RITCHEIE.
I believe so. Yes, hang on.
Uh-huh.
R-I-T.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Richie.
All right. Eh,
There you go. I just did
Right.
it for you in broadcast chat too.
Ricahie.
Yep.
Yeah,
Alright.
in broadcast chat.
So it's Richie.
Richie
Yeah.
Rich.
Oh, look at that! You sent out a fire type, and I just learned a new move.
Yeah.
And now I am to go to Little Root Town.
Oh yeah, that's right. You start off in a moving van.
Why was I in the moving van, Bob? Why couldn't I be, driven with you?
Guys.
I mean,
Fuck,
you know
I
the rule.
Fine. By the way, in the manga, this guy canonically is named
manga.
in the.
By the way,
Anyway, as I was saying,
I'm
canonically, this guy in the
leaving
manga is
City.
named Ruby, and he was initially from Johto.
The Adventures manga. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, he was a guy I that may have an affinity for battle, but he ended up wanting to be more for Pokemon contests due to an incident involving his friend Sapphire.
Oh yeah, and then I guess May
And
or I guess
And
Em.
Sapphire wanted to be tougher.
Didn't he grow up in the jungle or something? Or
Yes, it went through the jungle. We've got
That's-
guns and nades.
That's racist.
Everything's racist, Gizmo. Didn't you get the memo?
is it a racing?
How is that racist? I don't know. They'll figure out a way to say it's racist.
Everything is racist.
Everyone's
Everything's
racist, dude.
Richie,
Everyone's
like your
racist.
new room. Good. Everything's put away neatly. They finished moving everything downstairs too. Oh, Pokemon movers are so convenient. In Ruby and Sapphire, the movers were Machokes, but in Emerald, they're Vigoroths.
Yeah, that I kind of liked it when they were macho.
There are Machokes in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, if that helps.
And Ruby and Sapphire regular. I remember them being Machokes in Pokemon Ruby.
In very recent news, apparently there's now a lot of Rule 63 fan art of Miguel O'Hara Spider-Man 2099.
Yes.
I posted-
it is-
Gee, I wonder
it is
why.
all glorious.
I posted an image of
Kevin
that
is
in
thirsty.
waifu images, and I'm like Alex's ideal waifu.
Yes.
Because she's muscular, she's got a nice ass. What more could you want?
If I wanted her, then I would have to
Like-
ask for the non-existence of Miguel O'Hara.
Hmm.
I'm about
There's
to
an-
go commit multiverse.
Think about it.
crimes.
If you think about it, if you're dating Miles Morales,
Oh, by the way, speaking of which,
Okay,
I
then.
saw Spider-Verse last weekend,
Nice.
Canon event. Nice.
which was a canon event, by the way.
I'm about to go breaking canon events so I can get arrested by her multiverse police.
So would your punishment be death by snoo snoo?
Yes.
Anyway, should I pick up this item? Yes or no?
Always. Picking up items is mandatory. It's a Pokemon game.
Oh, never mind.
It's an
Hello.
RPG.
Oh, hi, May.
Now go break into your friend's house.
Yeah, what were you saying, Gizmo?
No, nothing. No, the joke's now
Sorry.
Yeah.
dead. Joke's now dead.
Anyway, back to
we
the
took it
flush.
Yeah, we took it out back and shot it with a shotgun. I'm
Jokes
sorry
is-
about
That
that.
is no longer.
So the
Yeah.
flush.
It is no longer.
It is dead.
Yeah, so
No longer.
So
a
the
canon
movie
event.
starts off with Barry and Batman responding to a crime by the holiday killer, who isn't committing a crime on a holiday and isn't, doing much. I would love to see what the people who hated Batman v Superman think about this action scene, because the things that happen in it are far more irresponsible than what happens in Batman v Superman.
Alright, fine, because thou must.
Because, like, Batfleck is not necessarily doing Batfleck's not necessarily doing anything too egregious here, but the Flash certainly is. The Flash is apparently so the Flash has this meter on his arm that tells him when he needs to eat, kind of like a diabetic, but you know, for when his speed starts to run out. And you know, it's kind of neat that he has this thing and is like, oh, like my speed starts to decrease when I'm super hungry. It's like, you could justify that. It's like, oh yeah, we didn't see that in Justice League because, you know, it never came up. You know, he was never really running for that big a period of time. But in here, it shows up. It's barely an issue, and then it never comes back.
So, in other words, what you're saying is it's super easy and barely an inconvenience?
No, what I'm saying is that it was completely pointless, and the fact that they even left this in the film with the amount of reshoots they did is baffling. Like, there's so many
Alex, you were
talking.
Alex, we ended up killing Gizmo's jokes, and you killed mine.
No.
You snapped my joke's neck.
Yeah, well,
you're telling a joke?
Kind of like General Zod did to Supergirl.
Wow,
dude!
Yeah.
Are you Chris Boers now?
Anyways, so
because Chris Boers used to kill jokes.
I understand what you were saying, but
I literally was concentrating on something else.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I get it, but it doesn't even even work. Like, this shows up for this sequence at the hospital, and then it disappears, and it's never brought up again. Like once he goes back in time, he never has to like binge eat, and like younger Flash never has to binge eat to do it. And you know how
oh, I saw that clip go around.
Yeah, I'll come back to this.
What was that shit?
Like,
guys.
Okay, younger him kind of has to eat a lot, but it's like it's not a mechanic. It's not a limitation that ever affects the plot in any appreciable way. Hey, like, if the hospital scene had been executed correctly, it wouldn't have come up at all. And I'm not saying this is a matter of, oh, I don't like that they did this the way they did this. No, I mean, like, if Barry Allen had been paying the slightest bit of attention and doing his goddamn job, the hospital never would have collapsed. Because the Holiday Killer, like, stole some shit from, like, Gotham General Hospital. God only knows why he's in there. But apparently he stole some explosive shit that'll blow up all of Gotham City if he drops it. And there's this whole action scene about Batfleck chasing down the Holiday Killer and his gang, and you know, Barry's like, oh, why am I having to clean up your mess? And then that never comes back. Like, there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't, that comes up, seems like it should be important, and then doesn't come back. It's like it literally feels like they spliced several different movies together in editing, but they all just happen to feature the same cast of characters, you know?
Wasn't the Holiday Killer Dent's wife to begin with?
Okay, so, oh, hang on. You're referencing The Long Halloween.
Yes. Because last I checked, she was the holiday killer.
Okay, so... Let's see. And...
My Torchic is supposed to be named John Bon Jovi, but there wasn't enough room for Jovi.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to name your rival John.
I don't get to name my rival in this game.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, that's
right,
unfortunate. Yep. So it's just John Bon?
No, John Bon J.
Okay.
They
Oh,
fixed that in the ring.
I really want to just see the Guardians 3 before I get to Spider-Verse and then so on.
Guardians 3 isn't worth it.
Let's see. It would be like
I mean, like...
So now that
Guardians
3, but,
first,
like,
and then Spider-Verse, and then Justice League, and then Transformers.
yeah.
Well,
So,
no,
this is
Transformers and then Justice League.
Yeah.
Transformers was surprisingly good.
Yeah, this is Alberto Falcone. He is the character. He was one of the holiday killers in
Long Halloween?
Long Halloween, yeah. I believe in them. Yeah.
You were almost going to say in the manga.
Fucking hell. Kind of. Jack Quaid played him in the Long Halloween. And guess who played Batman in that movie?
Jensen Ackles.
Yeah, and they were in The Boys together.
And the funny thing is that Jensen Ackles is actually a really good Batman.
Yeah. So yeah, so Al Falcone, aka, so he's the son of Carmine Falcone, apparently. So he's the holiday killer, and he's not doing anything that makes a lick of sense for him as a mafia boss or the holiday killer. In this movie, he's trying to steal this case full of explosives, and this case full of explosives is one of those things where Alfred says this. Oh, that if that hits the floor, it'll level all of Gotham, and then we never get that back ever again. Like, that never shows up. Like, I don't understand this. And then, like, so Batman and the Flash are, like, running these guys down. They almost get it. And there are so many times where you're watching the movie, and because Superman is such a big aspect, such a big backdrop of this film, you're constantly wondering, where's Superman? Where's Superman? Where is Superman? Because this is allegedly a Justice League operation, and Wonder Woman is late for the Justice League operation. Martian Manhunter is nowhere to be seen. Cyborg is nowhere to be seen. Nobody. Like, no Jon Stewart, no Hal Jordan, and no fucking anybody. It's Batman, it's the Flash, it's fucking Wonder Woman, and no Captain Marvel and the Marvel family either, or none of those guys are here.
Isn't Captain Marvel Marvel?
No, we're talking
about Zachary Levi. And while it may be a blessing that he and Ezra Miller were not in the same film together, the fact that he's not in this movie is kind of an issue. Aquaman is in this movie, but that's not exactly the best portrayal of the character, I have to say. And Tamir Morrison is in this movie, and his dog is named Arthur.
And I said, hey!
As well.
What a wonderful kind of day.
Yeah.
Life is just all and no play, being an adult.
Aquaman's kind of not... Aquaman might as well not be here,
He got drunk at the end of the movie and then collapsed.
Yeah. And the fact that he's
Doing
not
it.
here is also an issue. There's just so many places where Martian Manhunter, Superman, and Cyborg and Aquaman could have solved this problem, and then solved the problem of this high-speed car chase that has a lot of collateral damage. That left me asking, collateral damage? What's that?
One of our famous running gags.
Like, yeah, it's like it legitimately, it was like that. Oh, I received the metal coat, but the thing was, this is like a legitimate issue because they've been bitching about this. People working for DC bitched about this, and now they make this movie under like 2-3 different aspects of a new regime, and there's still like shitloads more collateral damage than there was in Batman v Superman. And like they said Batman was irresponsible in that film. I'm like, oh dear God. Like this has got fucking nothing on the shit the Flash does. Although I do have to admit, it was quite daring for them to have a true-to-life depiction of Ezra Miller's war with Hawaii in this film.
God damn it.
Just occasionally going out there with a damn Glock and just shooting everybody.
Okay,
just like with what Mahler did to Miller and Amber Heard in his ZSJL video. That was no way. It wasn't in Miller, or it was Movie Bob. Still, that was epic.
Yeah. So Barry feels like he's being taken for granted, and he's working, basically doing bitch work for the Justice League and at the crime lab. And it's like, oh, my boss is being irresponsible. Well, Sanjeev Bhaskar, a British Indian actor, who plays the crime lab director for the Central City Police Department.
Yeah, I was gonna say Central City.
Yeah. Like he. Sorry. Like he's got this whole thing where he's like, oh, we're so far behind on cases, and you want us to spend more time on each case? Get real, Barry. And we gotta close these cases. And that doesn't ever come up ever again. Not at any point in time. I'm like, oh, Barry Allen's always late. Har har, the Flash. And she's like, shit.
Barry Allen's always late. Har har. What?
That's a thing that comes up during the time in the crime lab.
Barry's always late. Har. I don't know why, but someone made me laugh.
That was like a one-off joke in the Flash TV show. And thankfully it never came back. Not really, anyways.
Barry's always late. Ha ha.
Now that I have the running shoes, whee!
Vermilion City Pokemon Gym. The Lightning American owns this gym.
Oh, by the way, Alex, there's no need to do any of the trash cans in your version, because they don't have that at there.
They have them in the Eevee version.
Yeah, so there's this whole thing where Barry feels like he's being taken for granted by the Justice League and by his job, and they're basically making him do bitch work, and he's trying to solve the case with his dad and get his dad out of jail. And all this stuff. And the only plot line that gets resolved is his dad being in jail. And that gets resolved of the way it played out in the leaks. Which was a good idea. I like how they did that. But they've added shit to the end of that makes it kind of weird. So
what?
Kevin, this is for you.
Don't worry about it. I'll get to it at the end. So I'm gonna take a drink of water now. So,
okay.
Barry's dealing with this shit. They get for some reason, even though he's the fastest man alive, and Batman and is somebody he sees on basically a daily basis as a member of the Justice League.
Oh, great.
Batman mails him a flash drive with the enhanced security camera footage from the grocery store where his dad went to go get the canned crushed tomatoes, and it doesn't the footage doesn't show Barry's dad's face well enough for them to get him exonerated. And excuse me.
And
later,
so Barry goes back to his childhood home after the weird fucking sequence at the hospital where he can't, for some reason, despite the fact that in Justice League he was gathering people up and moving them along at hypersonic speeds. Apparently he can't touch people or animals now, which doesn't make a lick of sense. And then Barry,
and
then
by
Barry
the way,
just goes
Alex,
ahead and touches somebody later on.
And by the way, Alex,
anyways,
and by the way, Alex, even hypersonic speed is underselling how fast the Flash is.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but he touches himself later on in the film, and all he does is throw up violently.
Say that again.
So Barry Allen touches himself very quickly. And
okay.
I
mean, they don't call him the fastest man alive for nothing.
But seriously,
God.
So all he does is throw up, and honestly, babies throw up all the time. So if you wanna bitch about I'm pretty sure a mother would rather have a baby that vomited all over itself than a dead baby, because the children's ward of this Vinnie Vincent is taking me on.
Wait, what?
His guitar only has 3 strings and 3 tuners. I think he might be wielding a broken bass. Speaking of which, Barry Allen plays the bass in this movie. He never actually picks up the bass, but he has a what looks like an Ibanez bass in his room. That's kind of funny. But yeah, so Barry in the process of saving all these babies, Barry has to binge eat out of a vending machine to get his speed back, and that's kind of a neat visual. But the big issue with it is that Barry let himself, he took way too long to fix the power issues in the hospital, and by the time the hospital starts collapsing, he's more worried about the fact that he's hungry than the fact that a big chunk of the foundation is broken. Like literally, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I had a thing in one of my stories where the foundation of a big building was collapsing. And do you know who I had solve that problem?
Superman.
Fucking Superman. Also Homelander, but that's aside the point. So the point is that the fucking for some reason the fucking, and Barry lets the fucking building collapse, and rather than running around inside before it collapses and having ourselves a little sweet dreams are made of this moment, Barry just
I am watching you through a camera.
Barry just kind of because Barry fucks up so much, all the babies and one of the nurses falls out the window, and a dog, and so he has to shove one of the babies into a microwave to keep it from getting burned up by flame. Which doesn't make a lick of fucking sense, but, you know. Like, if Barry had done this correctly, he wouldn't have had to deal with this bullshit, you know? Oh, there wouldn't have been this giant Rube Goldberg machine. Jake Sheridan asks, would you kick a cat for 5 cents? Fuck you.
Would you pick a cat for 5 cents?
Fly kick a cat for 5 cents. And fuck you. No, I wouldn't. Oh, it's a level 44 Raichu.
Yeah, Lieutenant Surge's team is scaled to the...
Oh, would you look at that? 3/4 of its health bar is gone. Oh, unfortunately, 90% of my health bar is gone now, too, because I'm using a water type.
Why do you insist on using a water type in an electric type gym?
Now, Froggy just happened to be at the head of my party.
You could have swapped him out.
I wanted to see what would happen, and he'd won every fight up to that point.
I'm trying to find a Pokemon in here. That's difficult to find, but it...
Would you send a cat flying for 0.2 discount at a trip to Morocco? Well, once again, fuck you, buddy.
Should we just
Who
ban
the
him?
fuck is asking these questions?
That is a very good question. Hang on. I'm gonna go to this guy's channel.
No. Where is this happening?
No playlists, no channel. This is in the YouTube chat.
This is in the YouTube chat. Hold on.
2 subscribers and no videos. At the leader 081.
Don't delete these comments. Oh shit, there it is. Jake Sheridan. What?
The Enforcer asks, would you fly kick a fish for a 10%? Where the fuck are these people coming from?
That is a good question.
Anyways, I'm just gonna ignore this and get back to talking about the Flash. If I see a comment about the Flash pop up, or if this gets any worse, I'll start banning people. But
He just posted a skull emoji.
but yeah, yeah. The only
Somehow
reason
nobody's been coming to my stuff.
there's this awesome set piece, quote unquote, but they didn't put any thought into how to make it happen, so it just happens. And it's unimpressive. Like, you took a shitty, easy way out. Barry Allen is the fastest man alive. You could have come up with a better, you could have come up with a...
Would you fly kick Flash
at the Batman movie? Yeah, okay, you know what? We're getting into territory I might actually consider.
You say the dog flying for a discount at My Little Pony.
Who is
Jesus
this?
Christ.
Who is
It's
this
like, what
guy?
That is a... Okay, Jake Sheridan, and once again, you can go fuck yourself. So Barry runs so fast that he accidentally runs back in time, after being at, his childhood home. And he runs back in time, and, sorry, my neck's kinked up. He runs back in time to the point where he was at the, the hospital.
What the fuck, dude?
I'm reporting this guy.
Okay,
What the? Why?
At this point, I'm gonna fucking ban you.
This is a quest.
I don't even know.
My question only has one word. Why, dude? You got me laughing, but why, man?
Okay, I'm gonna...
You had me laughing before, now I'm not laughing. Would you... God damn it.
Would you send an emo girl flying?
For a 12% discount at Barbie's Dreamhouse Lego set, buy one, get scammed for free?
Okay, dude.
Is this because I posted the video to the hashtag?
Okay, dude, it's not funny anymore.
I don't know who either of you people are, and I'm just gonna put you...
It was funny when Alex noticed and told people to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you guys in timeout, and if you don't learn, I'm gonna ban you.
Now it's not funny anymore.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, so Barry figures out he can go back in time, and Batman...
If I could turn back time...
Yeah, Batfleck shows up and
find a way,
and says, this is probably a bad idea. You don't want to go messing with time too much. Yeah, the time travel thing doesn't work the way it did in Justice League. So that's a question. But the thing is like Barry references the stuff that he did in Zack Snyder's Justice League constantly. But he also says, "Oh, I can't, hold on to people and run really fast. I can't." Excuse me, I can't, but then, when he turns back time, it doesn't look the way it did. Except, at first it kind of looks the way it did in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but it also, it doesn't. And then he kind of runs back in time and figures it out. And by the way, I have to mention this, so... I forgot to mention this earlier, but that's the problem with talking about this off the top of my head. You bring something up and you go off on a tangent because this movie has so much bullshit in it. So the Justice League, half of the fucking Justice League stops this thing, thinking Batman the Bat cycle gets blown up and Batman's out of it, but rather than flying behind the guys like he would in a Batman movie, he ice skates along the ground and gets beat up. And I'm just okay, hey, you're putting the imagery before the logical thought, and now we have several problems. That aside, though, they get to the end, and a guy...
There you are.
Rather than...
There you are!
So Batman shows up on top of this Humvee, and, he starts... They don't time it right at all. Well, it's not timed like it would be in a Batman film, which is... It's part of the reason...
Ooh, God.
Where the fuck are these people coming from? The Reaper Enforcer and Eric Shun the Enforcer. Or is somebody just creating sock puppet accounts on the fly? Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm gonna start banning people.
God damn, again, dude, come on.
What?
Would you jump over the fence for cat food? I don't know.
Why?
Over what?
I'm just
reporting these people.
Yeah, these... I'm just...
Kevin, are they showing up in your YouTube chat as well?
Shit, Jesus Christ.
Kevin.
Anyway, I captured a Ralt. What am I naming it? It's a dude?
Steven Tyler.
No,
Wait, no, I forgot we were doing something different.
Hang on.
By the way, Kevin, are these people showing up in your chat too?
No.
Okay.
Name it Alec.
Alec?
ALEC, yep.
Alright.
So yeah, so... the grappling gun that,
that Batman's known for?
He's back!
The grappling gun that... The personal enforcer says, keep crying it sped. Okay, I'm not sure what... Motherfucker, you're the guys posting about fucking animal abuse in the chat. Goddamn retards.
Alex, what were the questions again? That that they would ask.
We're not dignifying them.
This is just a bunch of bullshit.
Like,
You know, credit where it's due. We've been at this for over a year now, and we haven't had an influx of complete nonsense in the chat except for those sex bots we occasionally get. So, I guess we get to cross this one off of the bucket list today, guys.
Well, anyway, first Pokemon trainer, it's a youngster who has a Poochyena.
Cool.
And I summon my Ralts in attack mode. By the way, one thing that people know Gen 3 for is the amount of trumpets that's used in the soundtrack.
Yeah, the famous grappling gun that Batman has used to hold up his weight and the weight of several people in Batman v Superman and Justice League. And, you know, that grappling gun went through a lot, and
let me guess, he doesn't use it?
Oh no, he uses it. It just fails to hold up his weight and the weight of one other guy.
That's stupid.
Granted, it has been kind of run through the ringer in this film, but you know what he could do? He could pull out another one, because I know he keeps a couple of them.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. And so Wonder Woman shows up and hauls them up with the Lasso of Truth. And it just goes to show that the writing on this film is not very good because and by the way, hey, the screenplay was by Christina Hodson from a story by John Francis Daly, Jonathan Goldstein, and Joby Harold. For those of you who don't know, John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein are the duo who worked on the world's worst Spider-Man film.
Which one?
Amazing too.
No, they're not the only people responsible for Spider-Man Homecoming, but they are two of the people who I believe are most responsible for it.
Gizmo, I believe there is a phrase that you would say in regards to this. You know, a certain phrase you've thrown at me.
You got cut off. What?
I believe there's a certain phrase you would say in regards to what Alex had said. One that you've said to me a number of times.
Anyways, so Batman.
Yes.
Batman says something that Batman would never say, and he says, "So my ego is too big to say thank you to Wonder Woman," even though Batman said thank you to several people over the course of Justice League and Batman v Superman.
Whatever
Honestly,
happened to
the only
Faith?
person I could imagine him saying that to is Amanda Waller. Certainly not fucking Wonder Woman. And there's this whole cringe scene of all of them, of a bunch of people, touching the Lasso of Truth, trying to get it off of Batman's wrist, and that winds up becoming really cringe. I believe Barry said something about Diana having a nice rack.
I mean, she does.
It wasn't as funny as it was in the animated movie.
I'm not disagreeing with Barry here, but...
Yeah. So anyways, Barry goes back in time to the 1990s, and he makes sure his mom gets that extra can of tomato sauce she needed, and so his dad stays home. They don't address who killed her or why or what, and on Barry's way back home to the present day, he gets punched by a guy who looks suspiciously like Professor Zoom, as depicted, or Godspeed.
No. Oh, what I'm imagining right now, Alex, Zoom just shows up, punches him, and twerks in front of twerks over his face at super speed and then leaves.
Okay, I wish that happened. I wish Eobard Thawne was in this movie because he's not, and he would have made perfect sense to be in this movie. But he's fucking not.
I mean, he was in the Flashpoint comic and the Flashpoint animated movie.
Oh yeah, that.
I love what you've done with the place, Barry. He comes in with a cup of coffee. I swear, the Zoom posts are ridiculous, but they're just so damn good.
Yeah, I wish they would have had Eobard Thawne in this movie, but yeah. So this guy who looks like a cross between Zoom from the TV show and Godspeed also from the TV show. I think it was Godspeed.
You know, the actor who plays...
No, that wasn't Godspeed. That was...
the guy that plays Professor... the guy... Was Eobard Thawne the guy in the wheelchair in the Flash show?
Yeah, kind of.
No, that was the Thinker.
No, that was him. He just transformed into,
Reverse Flash?
Oh, no. Well, like, Reverse Flash transformed into, Tom Cavanaugh's, Professor what the fuck?
Zoom.
No, Zoom is not the guy.
And the funny thing is, Alex...
Harrison Wells, that's who I was thinking of.
Tom Cavanaugh ended up playing Ranger Rick in the Yogi Bear live action movie, and Doug ended up coming up with a whole bunch of jokes about he's about his role in the CW Flash series just because Rob Walker told him about it.
Yeah.
For the
record, Nostalgia Critic, and that was an interesting review.
I heard Rob Walker is a worse person than Doug Walker is.
I don't know. I don't think about it anymore.
Is he?
Every now and again.
Turn your head now, baby. Just step it out.
Well, the one good thing about Ralts in
come on, Alex, when
you try to encounter it in the games, Ralts doesn't have any moves other than growl.
Alex doesn't do duets.
Oh, well, no, it's just that I don't know the song you're talking about.
Oh, it's a pretty old song. I'll link it.
Hey, Gizmo, how do you feel about you said you didn't play Pokemon Gen 3, did you?
Which one's Gen 3?
Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald?
I played only Ruby.
Okay, so how did you feel about Gen 3?
It's good.
That song, Alex.
Well, here's the thing, Gizmo. With Gen 3...
Oh, Collective Soul December. Okay.
With Emerald...
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I'm not super familiar with Collective Soul, unfortunately.
Well, now Ralts learned Confusion, which means it can induce a confusion.
Mighty King is in the dojo is in the caves for training. I found a focus band. I have no idea what that does.
Oh, are you in Saffron City?
Jim. Yes, I am.
By the way, yes, you could challenge Sabrina there as well. The gym is right next to the karate dojo like it is in Red, Blue, and Yellow.
Yeah, this is just a gym, not a gym.
Now remember, before you attempt to do Cerulean City, you're going to want to go to the power plant, and that's east, which is where the route where that leads to the rock tunnel.
Okay.
And if you remember getting to the power plant in Red, Blue, and Yellow, then you just use Surf to ride along the water until you reach it.
Alrighty then.
Just letting you know how that works. All right, because you're gonna want to initiate the power plant side quest before you try to do anything else, because otherwise you'd be stuck on the eastern side of Kanto.
Okay, well,
Huh?
I was talking. Anyway, back to the flush.
Uh-huh.
Butterbean wants to fight Jake Paul.
So the Flash decides to throw caution to the wind because his dad's appeal's coming up and they're not going to be able to win it. So he's just like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to go back in time. He gets his mom the tomatoes that she was going to use for whatever the fuck sauce she was going to use. Like, I don't know.
Can anyone confirm this?
Or spaghetti sauce or what. But yeah, so he
Can
goes
anyone
back in time,
confirm
make
that?
sure she gets the sauce. Somehow that means she doesn't get murdered.
Somehow.
Because, you know, I kind of get the feeling that
that Thawne would make
Thawne
things
yeah.
would make things even worse for Barry by killing both his mom and dad.
Yeah, so Henry Allen. And I kind of don't feel like either any of the three versions of Henry Allen we've seen lately would be a physical match for Eobard Thawne. Maybe he just has too much big dick energy. And that scared away the, you know, Mr. Zoomy Reverse Flash.
Imagine if live action Eobard Thawne is played by C. Thomas Howell, his most well-known voice actor.
That'd be interesting. So
he could.
Yeah, no, I'd like to see that. But
anyway,
but Barry gets punched out of the time stream on his way back to the main timeline by a guy who looks like a combination of I'm gonna have to look up the exact name.
Somehow Barry gets punched out of the timeline. The timeline.
Savitar, that's who I was thinking of.
No. Oh, here's what happened. The timeline was kind of getting tired of having sex with Barry and is like, you know what? I think we should see other people.
I think you should see another timeline, and I should see a different speedster, or with a slightly smaller penis.
She then proceeds to see Wally, who has a much bigger penis.
Oh no. Like a virgin. Touch for the very first time.
Penis.
But then again, Wally would actually, you know, be able to pleasure the timeline to the point where she doesn't need a second and her third time.
Yeah, you shook me all night long. I'm not in key on that, but fuck it. Neither was Axl Rose when he sang it. Heyo.
Alex, can you confirm this news? Butterbean. The Butterbean news.
What about Butterbean?
Go look in the broadcast chat. I need you to fact check something for me.
Welcome to the Pokemon Center.
You know what? If Butterbean wants to come out of retirement to beat up Jake Paul, I'd be down for that, but I have not seen word one of news about that, unfortunately.
Hopefully Joseph's internet isn't completely gone. Maybe he can answer that for us.
I want to see Butterbean beat up Jake Paul. I'd like to see Mike Tyson beat up Jake Paul. I think Mike Tyson
Please do. He would. He just has the fear of being strong.
You know what? Before we do that, let's have Jake Paul step into a ring with Andrew Tate. And then whoever wins...
The apex homosexual?
Gets to fight Mike... Yeah, whoever wins gets to fight Mike Tyson, and you don't get any rest period. You get a sip of water and you get to chug a can of Monster, and that's it.
Alex is probably one of the few base people who actually hates Andrew Tate.
I don't know how anybody can't. The is a fucking... The man's a lunatic, first off. And for another thing...
So here's
even
the thing,
my
people...
even my sisters agree with that.
Here's the thing about Andrew Tate, though. As much as people want to agree with him or say he's got a point on this or that when it comes to, say, like equality or having to make your own money and stuff like that, broken clock is right.
That's the thing.
Broken clocks and things like that. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, he'll say one or two things that make sense. Maybe three, maybe four, but then
and then he'll come out with something that's completely out of left field.
The rest of the 96 things don't make sense.
Dude, I actually thought you were going to defend the guy at first, Gizmo. I know a lot of FDU would love Andrew Tate.
The only reason why I defend him is because he has the right to speak his mind. And again, broken clocks are right twice per day. He'll say one or two things that sometimes will make sense, sometimes four, but it doesn't mean that the rest of what he says is right. Like, you know, how he calls a lot of women bitches and how he thinks that you gotta have a fast car if you want to be successful. Like, you know, what the fuck am I gonna do with a car that goes 1,000 miles per hour on the street?
Good point. But one thing I saw, and this is the case of being the best of two bad examples. There was a video where somebody asked Jake Paul, who's the best boxer of all time? And he said he was the best boxer of all time. And he'd take on Mike Tyson in a heartbeat. And it was like, oh yeah,
that's ludicrous.
I'm a fucking
Alex.
Like,
that's ludicrous.
Yeah, he was like,
I couldn't resist.
One step away from saying, like, I'm a force of nature. If you were from where I was from, you'll be fucking dead. You know. Well, he sounded like he was about to start quoting the Scout from TF2. And
my pizza's almost here.
Right. And then it cuts to an interview with Andrew Tate where they asked him the same question, and he said that no, I wouldn't fight Mike Tyson. There's only two ways that can go. Well, if I beat him, all I'm doing is tarnishing the history of a legend. And if he beats me, I'm the guy who lost to like 50-something-year-old Mike Tyson. There's no winning this. It's gonna come out poorly no matter what. And obviously, I'm paraphrasing. I probably made it sound a hell of a lot more intelligent than it did when it came out of his
right.
Well, and Alex,
ultimately,
funnily enough, if Fran were here, he would do a perfect impression of Mike Tyson. Like, he and my dad do a great impression of him.
Wait, how old is Mayweather, though? Like, in his 40s?
Floyd Mayweather is 40-something, yeah.
So he's almost like going to be in his 50s. He's probably going to still make money off of his boxing matches. The thing is that I say that because
Floyd Mayweather was going to retire, like Asa and Blackface Kermit said.
The thing is, though, Mike Tyson, on the other hand, is one of the strongest, if not the most intimidating boxers out there. And he's like, what, in his 50s?
Well, Mike Tyson, back in his prime, Mike Tyson was pound for pound the strongest boxer in the histoy of the sport. Like,
that guy is on fake you.
No, well, here's the thing about Mike Tyson, though. He says that if he still worked out, he would have still boxed. I'm paraphrasing as well, but here's the thing, though. He stopped working out altogether because apparently he said something along the lines of it made him arrogant, it made him dangerous, it made him an asshole or something like that. While Mayweather, he's still working out. I feel like if Mike Tyson never, and I mean never, stopped his workout routine, he would have he would have still been the king.
Teenage bitch.
And I
made that joke already. Come on, man.
Chicken, you motherfucker.
I would have loved to see him beat the shit out of any of the Paul brothers because neither of them know when to shut the fuck up. Like, okay, when they're running their mouths, sometimes a smart thing will come out, but it's just as many times as it's another broken clock situation. They spout out as many smart things as Tate does because they made Prime, they put it out in the market, they made money off of it. They knew how to cater to the YouTube algorithm. They knew how to cater to the YouTube market that was appealing to them.
I've seen
but
Mr. Beast's chocolate.
I'd rather have the chocolate, man. At least that guy is at least tolerable when he's talking.
Yeah, I
but
want to try Mr. Beast's chocolate. You know.
yeah, but the Paul brothers, on the other hand, they just don't know when to shut the fuck up. It's like, oh, it's not about the money. God guided me. You know, the Suicide Force. That's not me. It's like I put Prime up my butt.
Right there. Fuck you, Rob.
Up. God
Right
damn
there.
the Paul brothers.
I'm doing Rob's impression of Drunken Punk. Right to there. Right to there. Fuck you, Rob. I'm gone. How dare he say I can't make fun of disabled little girls?
Anyways, so yeah, the Flash goes back in time and gets his ass kicked by Savitar. I'm gonna call him Savitar because he's fucking Savitar.
Not Avatar.
No, they don't credit him as Savitar, but he is fucking Savitar. And if you know who Savitar is, that means that you've already guessed the giant twist.
I don't know who that is.
I don't want to say it.
Has anybody here seen the Flash TV show?
Nope.
Okay. Well, never mind. Anyways.
Well, I've seen a few episodes, but not that far.
Yeah, if anybody
Dude, I'm gonna say right now, if you look up Savitar online, you're gonna get two things. You're gonna either get the rejected design for Power Rangers, or you're gonna get a dude that looks like something out of Rob Liefeld's collection.
Why?
What? Why? I'm just telling you what you're gonna see.
No. As in what? I mean, why that design though?
You're gonna have to be a little more specific because I gave you two.
Barry pops out of the time stream and shows up near his old house, and his parents are still alive, and they're all like, everything's fine and dandy until he shows up, and it turns out it's 2013. The Black Zero event is about to happen in Metropolis. Barry Allen doesn't have his powers yet, and he has to talk sense into himself because there are now two hymns around, and
because that's exactly what we needed.
And in the process of Barry setting up his younger self, his 18-year-old self, to get struck by lightning, he loses his powers somehow. Like when he gets struck by lightning, like his powers go into young him somehow.
That's stupid.
I know.
That's not how it works at all.
No,
in the Flashpoint storyline, it made sense that Barry himself was affected, and he ended up living his whole life up until a certain point, and then he goes on his own initiative to get his powers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it is.
How did it make sense in the animate? How did it make more sense in the animated movie and the comic than it did here?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm gonna say it is a bad thing if the Flashpoint comic and the Flashpoint movie did something better than you.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, so when they go back to get Prime Barry his powers back, Supergirl has to, they strap him to the electrical chair in the Batcave, like they did in the show, or that they did in the movie. But then Supergirl has to, carry him up into the sky so that he can be struck by lightning. And Jesus H. Christ, people said that Zack Snyder was heavy-handed with the Christ imagery.
Jesus Christ. Supergirl.
Jesus Christ, who are you, what have you sacrificed?
Jesus Christ, Supergirl?
Yeah. So we'll get back to that, but I'm giving this movie a 0 out of 10 because I had to relive PTSD flashbacks because for some reason Barry's front tooth gets knocked out or cracked off. Yeah, Barry's tooth gets cracked off, and it doesn't grow back even when he gets his healing powers back. I don't know how, I don't know why. it doesn't make any sense. Like, he glues it on with super glue, and it doesn't ever come up again, except at the very end, where it just falls out like he's in shock at the sight he sees. And this is another one of many, 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 many things that comes up and doesn't come back in any meaningful way. Like, he can do it. It's never an impairment on him, you know? Anyways. So yeah, so Barry explains everything to his younger self, gets his younger self the powers, and then he, you know, has to deal with not having powers. So, they go to talk to Batman, and because, okay, so the timeline is so fucked up, and this is part of the reason why this movie doesn't make a lick of fucking sense. Batman, Bruce Wayne's parents were killed in 1981 in the DCU. Barry Allen was 10 years old, I believe, when Nora Allen died.
Okay.
That means that she died in 2005. Barry Allen goes back to 2005 to keep his mom from dying. How does that get us the 1989 Batman? Because Michael Keaton is Batman here, and, you know, it's kind of interesting, you know, to see all this old Batman shit again, even including shit that and he doesn't know anything about Superman, even though George Clooney, and Val Kilmer referenced Superman a couple of times in their movies, not directly in the Burton films.
This is why Superman works alone.
Yeah. Not directly in the Burton films, but, you know, it was close enough. And then the Schumacher films had several direct references to Metropolis, Superman works alone, that kind of thing. And George Clooney is in this movie, so...
Alrighty, I'm back, and I got my pizza.
What kind?
The only way that could really work is if Batman existed in his own universe and Superman was a fictional character through it.
Kevin's gonna kill me, but I got Little Caesars.
Nice.
What kind of pizza did you get from Little Caesars? I got the Marsh Badge.
God, what did I get? What do they call it? They call it the Old World Fanceroni Pepperoni. It's really good.
Okay. Marsh Badge draws out your subliminal powers, although I failed to accurately predict your power, so I don't really know if this has any use.
For some reason, Kevin's got nothing to say about the fact that I ordered a chain pizza.
Yeah, so they go talk to Batman. Batman is a crazy old hermit with a giant beard who beats them up, and then they talk sense into him, and he's like, okay, hey, I'll help you. I'll help you break this Superman guy out of a Soviet-Russian prison. The Soviets still exist for some reason. Barry Allen's...
2013?
Barry...
This made sense in the Flashpoint universe, because while the events of the DCU take place closer together in Flashpoint, like there's different things that are happening like simultaneously, so it's not so much like there's giant echoes going back in time creating like big problems, as much as it is like oh, there's, you know, oh, this little butterfly effect fucked up a bunch of stuff, you know? And this was handled exceedingly better in the Flash TV show. I can't believe I'm fucking saying this, considering how much I've disparaged the Arrowverse for its bad writing over the years. But the Arrowverse handled the concept of the Flashpoint universe much better, because I just want to get out.
Alex, somebody has gotten on me for daring to say that the infamous "We will make America Grodd again" line is terrible.
It is terrible.
Why would anybody get on you for that? And everybody should recognize that is cringe.
Because they genuinely thought it was funny.
It's not funny.
It really isn't.
That was
bafflingly
stupid.
Oh, hold on a second. It was cringe. I actually have the comment pulled up. I actually have the comment right here. I said a professional screenwriter wrote this. The show director approved of this, and voice actor David Sobolov voiced this, unironically given his political stance. This is how far we've sunk in terms of show quality, people. Well, someone's like, what makes you think the show ever considered itself seriously? It just embraced the wacky nature, and it works. If you want worse writing, look no further than the Flash TV show.
No, the Flash TV show was not as bad as Legends of Tomorrow. The Flash TV show didn't fuck up King Arthur.
Yes.
And I said, no, that's not how this works. This scene was stupid. The line is as awful as Lex Luthor unironically saying fake news, and the CW stuff was a failure after season 3 of Arrow. And then he says, can't agree with you. Oh, this line is fucking hilarious, and the show is funny as hell.
Look, I'll tell. Everyone here knows already that Legends of Tomorrow for me is a guilty pleasure, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna say that it's 100% unfallible. Like, fuck's sake! Like I was the one who told you guys about the Make America Grodd Again. There's other shit they do too. There's other shit they do.
No,
too.
Alex was the one who told me about it first because I was streaming Injustice 2 and we got to Grodd, and he's like, and he mentioned that line to me, and then I'm not sure. Where did you first hear about it, Gizmo, or did you just watch the show?
I watched the show, and then I heard him say, like, Make America Grodd Again in this deep-ass voice. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I knew it was going to go that way the moment I heard Obama was going to make an appearance.
Yeah, and...
Yeah.
Somebody commented that Grodd was...
some more lube with that dick wanking, you motherfuckers?
Somebody commented that Grodd was going to do people a favor by killing Barack Obama.
If only it were that easy.
No, it's based. And they added the whole stealth drone on strikes.
If it were that easy, a lot of the presidents would have been dead by now. But no, it's a lot more complicated than that. You got to go through the politics, the laws, the money.
We've got to have money.
The money, and even more money. This was cringe from the beginning. It would be just as cringe if, say, they had to try and kill, Donald Trump and try and say, like, the future is female. That would have been as cringe.
Gizmo,
I don't give a shit.
Gizmo, I gotta ask, were you here?
If it was trying to kill Hillary Clinton, and it would have been, like, actually saying, let's make America great again. It would have been cringe either way.
Okay, you know what? I got a great example of how to do this right. There is an episode of Doctor Who where they go back in time and Richard Nixon is a supporting character. And they don't make a whole lot of commentary about Nixon. And because,
I'm not a crook.
Because Nixon's, Nixon's wasn't that great a president, let's be perfectly honest here. But, he's a helpful character. He helps the Dr. Amy and Rory out during their little adventure. And you know what? He asks the doctor, just one little question. Will I be remembered? And the doctor says, oh, Tricky Dicky, they'll never forget you. And that was it. That was hilarious. That was a great punchline and an end to an awesome two-parter.
Jim Carrey made an actually good Donald Trump joke in Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yeah. Like,
Did he? I don't remember that.
It was at the last part of the movie where Supersonic took out the top of the Death Egg robot.
Okay. He did some things, I did some things. There were good people on both sides.
He's factually correct on that regard, because Knuckles was. One of the good guys.
That went over my head.
Yeah,
that went over my head. That's a really good way to make a joke.
Yeah, it's so quick. It's so hilarious. You wouldn't have even noticed it if I hadn't pointed it out. And Like,
and even though Jim Carrey does also have a derangement on him, he's still
but at least he didn't get his politics get in the way of the movie. That was the great way to make jokes about.
He'll bitch about the stupid stuff on social media, but he'll still keep his politics out of doing the or out of doing the movies. Which I can applaud him for.
Yeah, so they go to rescue Superman from his Soviet prison, and there's this whole conversation about Eric Stoltz was the guy in Back to the Future, or not Michael J. Fox, and Michael J. Fox was in Footloose, har har, and Kevin Bacon was in Top Gun, hardy hardy har. This is not funny, John Francis Daly. Go fuck yourself, John Francis Daly. I know you wrote that dialogue, John Francis Daly.
They could have made that funny. I mean, like the Last Action Hero made it funny when instead of Schwarzenegger, it killed Sylvester Stallone in the place of.
By the way, Gizmo, were you there with us when we were watching the last 2 episodes of season 3 of Young Justice?
Yes.
Okay, so you heard Lex Luthor say this is all fake news?
Yes.
How did you I forget, how did you feel?
The thing is, anybody can say that. That's not just a Trump thing anymore. It's now a common phrase.
Yeah, I know, but it's like
it's sort of like how if someone's it's like for example, if some celebrity were to say, I don't know, like, dude, man, you stink as bad as that guy from down in Dalton. It's like that doesn't make sense. But now it's a thing that people say because a famous celebrity said it.
No, I know what you're saying.
And it's now not his thing anymore. It's now just a common phrase. But because I was like, fake news. Okay, fake news. Everyone says it now.
That's not that big a deal. Well, although,
it's not that big a deal because it's now a common phrase.
Now here's something. So they go to rescue Superman from a Russian prison.
And
it kind of plays out a little bit too close to Black Widow's rescuing Red Guardian from the Russian prison. You mean
fake Hellboy?
Yeah, fake Captain America. And they go into the Red Sun chamber. There's no explanation as to how they have a Red Sun chamber.
There wasn't an explanation. There wasn't an explanation how they had a Red Sun chamber in the Flashpoint movie.
Yeah,
how would they even know?
Or in the comic.
Well, yeah.
How would they even know that they needed a Red Sun chamber to begin with without?
They've never run into the fucking super thing before, you know.
Yeah,
So they go, they go and do that, and so holy shit. So they go to try and break Superman out, and they find out that Superman isn't in there. It's Supergirl, and it's a Supergirl that makes Melissa Benoist look like a plain Jane and frumpy bitch.
I hate that design so much.
Oh dear God.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
You hate the Supergirl in this?
I hate the design.
You're kidding me, right?
No, it's just female Man of Steel.
It's not though. There's more red on the suit. There's there's a whole redesign and with it. It's not the same kind of suit
so they redesigned the costume. So it looks a lot different in production than it does in the trailers.
So the suit that she has for some reason, whenever they transition into the models, the suit that Sasha Calle wears is the suit that she wears looks really good in all of the selfies she took of herself.
Oh, yeah, she looks good there.
Yeah, but when they CGI it up, it looks like shit. Sometimes it looks pretty good. A lot of times when it's practical, it looks pretty good. But it's just I don't fucking get it. like they have a great looking suit, and they don't just and they just don't use it most of the time. I'm like, Man of Steel had Henry Cavill running around on fucking wires for his scenes, and they use CGI for just about every action scene in this. Like the Flash is CGI, the other Flash is CGI, Batman is CGI.
Everybody's CGI.
General Zod is CGI. You know, all the Kryptonians are CGI, and you can tell they're CGI. I mean, like, the effects don't look that great. But Sasha Calle, she looks awesome. She is, mwah.
Yeah.
Like, she's a fucking babe, and it's quite unfortunate that she is completely wasted in this movie, because, as you know, they get her, and they have a really cool scene where she, like, helps them bust out and get away. For some reason, her hospital gown tanks like what looks like 50 caliber machine gun bullets, and only gets slightly torn, when in reality it would have been torn to shreds, and they could have cut around her luscious rack if they would have
Alex
I've seen her Instagram pictures.
Alex at the side of this woman is like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
There he is.
Yes,
but
before
then
anybody accuses me of being a creep, she's older than me. Yeah, she gives a good performance. She's great in the role. But you know, they cut around. They could have cut around. Like, they could have shredded the hospital gown and cut around on her nudity so that they could maintain their PG-13 rating. Kind of like they did with Ezra Miller's nude scene earlier in the film, and I didn't want to see any of that. They come really close to showing his dick at a couple of points.
Oh my
God.
And it was like in the second...
I did not need that image in my head, Alex.
Yeah, the second you might see naked Ezra Miller's penis, they cut away, and then you see... You don't get to cut away. Then you never get to fully cut away, because they always cut away to a shot of his butt. And I can or something, or like his legs or some shit. And it's like, come the fuck on, guys. And it's like, are you trying to appeal to the Fujoshis that badly? I mean, like,
yes.
What did Becca
Alex,
Barnes? Did Becca Barnes have a hand in the production of this movie?
Alex, remember, the answer to every one of your questions is always going to be yes.
But yeah, so more's the pity. Hey, we did not get to see Supergirl naked in this movie.
I mean, we did get to see her naked in Superman Batman Apocalypse.
Yeah. It would have been just compensation for this movie forcing me to get more of a view of Ezra Miller than I have ever wanted in my entire life. If anything, I want the only people I want to see in more clothes than him would be like Movie Bob and fuck, I don't know. Oh, who's another
Silent Rob?
I was gonna say who's another for
Gizmo, would you say Silent Rob?
What about Silent Rob?
Melissa McCarthy, that's who I was gonna say. Hey, I will as if I never have to see Melissa McCarthy nude, that would be amazing. But
what has she ever been in nude for?
I would hope nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that she...
I see too much of her when she has her clothes on. I would like to have a complete absence of Melissa McCarthy in my life, except for that one movie, St. Vincent, with Bill Murray. Which was a great movie, and you should go watch it.
But that's only because Bill Murray, not Melissa McCarthy?
No, Melissa McCarthy is actually really good in that film, surprisingly.
I find that difficult to believe.
I know. So anyways, So yeah, in order to get
Gizmo had a
regular-
joke about Melissa McCarthy. What was it again? I'm fat, I'm funny, haha.
Yeah.
And so,
what was it? Was that
young-
her? Was that what you said, Gizmo?
young Barry Allen basically
Gizmo.
falls head over heels in love with Supergirl. Well, and,
Guys, we lost Gizmo.
What?
Gizmo-
Oh shit, there he is.
So yeah,
I've been here. I just don't know what you're asking.
Oh,
Ah, there you are.
there we go.
Hi,
I've been
Taylor.
here.
Maximize the screen.
I was talking about the time you said Melissa McCarthy only has one shtick. Haha, I'm fat. Ha.
You got cut off at Melissa.
Well, that's
McCarthy.
also. Well, here's
Okay,
the thing.
but
That's
what did you
also.
say?
You said I said that you had something to say about Melissa McCarthy's shtick, Gizmo. That you said that her routine is just nothing but I'm fat or whatever.
Yes.
Oh, just like Amy Schumer then. Shit.
Yes.
Amy Schumer is
Well,
not as
no.
fat as Melissa McCarthy, and also
No,
Amy Schumer has
doesn't
more
own my
shtick.
vagina.
Amy
She
Schumer
is. She's not, but
Here's the
but
thing.
her jokes also consist of
Well, here's the
I'm
thing.
fat. Ha, ha, ha.
Amy Schumer has more shtick than Melissa McCarthy because she steals her shtick from other people.
Oh yeah.
She's
Amy
as bad a
Schumer
defender
is-
as Carlos Mencia.
Well, at least Carlos Mencia knew how to deliver a joke. Amy Schumer can't even
Okay,
do that.
yes, granted, I have to say, yes, Carlos Mencia knows how to deliver a joke. He doesn't know how to write them,
second
but he does
gentleman.
know how to deliver them.
Right.
So yeah, so young Barry,
Like, he can make, like, the
18
most unfunniest jokes sound funny because the way he says them. Like, it's not just like... Oh, go ahead, man.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, you know, the art of comedy isn't just writing something funny. It's also making the most mundane or most normal thing funny. Like, anyone can say, hey, I got a car and it's a piece of shit when it runs down the road. I mean, it's funny, but not, haha funny. But if you say it a certain way, it's going to be funny. Like, say, I got a car. Yeah, I got my own car. It's a piece of shit. Runs down the road like oh my god, man, it's a piece of shit. Like, delivery like that, it can probably make a few people laugh. But if you just say, oh, my car's shit, yeah, you're not gonna get any laughs. That was the beauty of Carlos Mencia. Yeah, he stole jokes. We know that, he stole this joke, that joke, he stole a bunch of jokes. But when he did, he at least tried to make it funny. He at least tried to add his own spin to it. Like, even the poorly timed jokes, like the Katrina jokes, like, yeah, poor taste, but he at least tried. He tried.
Yeah.
Amy Schumer, my pussy, my pussy, my pussy, my pussy, my pussy. Fucking. No, you're not even trying. You're just saying you're pussy. You're not even trying to make it funny.
Oh no, it's the creepy music. I'm in Lavender Town.
That song that killed a bunch of kids at a Japanese high school.
Okay, so that didn't happen.
Bong, bong,
the
Yes, it
original,
did.
bong.
Yes,
the
it
original,
did.
The original mix of the Lavender Town theme actually it just caused a bunch of headaches when people listened to it on headphones.
Yeah.
All right, what am I naming this Taylor who is a female?
Oh, I don't know.
Bird hoe.
I'm going to ignore that suggestion.
Bird slut.
Bird nose? What?
Bird slag.
I have a I already have John
Bird
Bon
bitch, show
Jovi.
Oh, excuse me.
Gandhi.
David.
That is a name.
David Otunga?
No.
You remember David Otunga, Alex?
Yes, I remember.
Do you think he should come back?
Except delete.
Maybe.
You know what? I'll
Anyways.
name it Bad Meds.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here as quickly as possible to avoid
You gotta
seeing
go to
any of you guys
out.
bleeding from your What's
Alex,
wrong
you
with
got
your face?
Alex.
Wow, the Lavender Town theme is happier in this version.
Yeah, and the ghost tower is gone. It's
Well,
replaced with a radio. It's replaced with a radio tower.
Why?
You're gonna want to go through the rock tunnel to get to the or to get to the Pokemon Center on the in the area where you would normally go to in red, blue, and yellow to get to Lavender Town. However, the thing is that it's not very well big.
Is that down south or is that up north?
Rock Tunnel is north of Lavender Town.
Okay. Yeah, so...
and you still need Flash to navigate it.
Okay. 18-year-old Barry Allen falls madly in love of head over heels with Supergirl, which kind of, that's kind of a running trend with him, where he's kind of, like...
simping for ladies.
Yeah, for the superheroines.
I mean, who wouldn't? But at the same time,
it was funnier in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but
whatever.
Sasha Calle's Supergirl is fucking awesome. Anyways, so
my one friend called her Burrito Supergirl.
Anyways, so
yes, really.
They go to deal with General Zod. For some reason, Martian Manhunter isn't there. And, I kind of feel
somehow
like...
Palpatine survived?
Somehow, the Sword of Ra intercepted Kal-El's pod and killed him. Because Barry Allen went back in time. Yeah. Because Barry Allen went back in time. Like, Superman... and was a kid back in the 90s.
Yeah, but but if Zod ends up killing him, then how could he possibly save Krypton?
Okay, that's a very good question.
Because the Codex is inside of Superman's blood.
Okay, yes. So apparently, what the Flash did fucked up the timeline so much that the Codex is actually in Kara's blood. I don't think
of course it is.
They
okay.
They didn't adequately explain why to my satisfaction. So anyways, the guy who should be Martian Manhunter gets his head chopped off by General Zod, or his head broken, or whatever the fuck. And it's very clearly that he is not, that's probably original Swanwick, not Martian Manhunter Swanwick. Anyways, so Swanwick got killed, and let's see.
I like how Swanwick sounds like Sonic.
When you said anyway, so I thought you were gonna end the stream.
Yeah.
No.
Why?
Because usually anyway,
that's what he usually
is followed.
Yeah, that is what you usually say, Alex.
Ah.
Yeah, it's usually your cue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Well, anyways.
So anyway,
the deal.
Till next time, dear viewer.
So, for some reason they're out in the middle of nowhere when all this happens, rather than in the middle of Metropolis, which kind of fucks shit up.
I gotta take a piss. I'll be back.
Well, whatever, guys.
He's got to refill the food replications.
So Zod decides to unleash the twerking that was as fire.
So Barry Allen was at
fire.
So Barry Allen was at the original Black Zero incident Battle of Metropolis after having become the Flash. According to this film, anyways.
That just makes things worse.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't know why they thought there was a need for that. So, the two Flashes are in the Black Zero or in the new Black Zero incident that's happening out in the middle of fucking nowhere, or where nothing matters. And so Batman and is like, Batman's trying to take him down, and Supergirl is trying to take Zod down. Somehow, General Zod, that stabby thing that he had in Man of Steel?
Yeah.
It sounded like you said Supergirl is going to take Sabat down. It sounded like Supergirl is going to go after Chris Sabat.
No.
That would have been... Sabat is also a name of something else, but yeah.
Anyway.
Yes,
I need a Pokemon that can learn Flash. Can I teach it to my Ditto?
Ditto could be literally anything you want it to be.
Yep.
Jake Long.
I'll
Peter,
be-
the Ariados.
Jake Long.
Who can learn Flash?
Zuko.
Did you
Is
check?
I don't have any electric types.
Let's see.
Who can learn Flash? Who can learn Flash and Crystal?
Are you Googling this or?
Yeah, I'm any grass Pokemon can learn both Cut and Flash. Huh. Gold, Silver, Crystal, HM, Chart, and Compatibility. Chikorita can learn Flash. Cyndaquil cannot.
Weird.
Hoothoot and Noctowl can learn Flash. That's good, because I have a Noctowl.
Okay, then.
Let's see. Obviously, Pichu, Pikachu, and Raichu. Butterfree. Ledyba. Ariados can learn Flash as well.
Alright, so you could actually check that when you boot up the TM, or rather the HM.
That's only if the Pokemon is in my party. Excuse me.
Yeah, and I could have sworn your Ariados was in your party.
No, I had to take him out to deal with some other shit. And... okay, so Ariados it is. Peter, the friendly neighborhood at Ariados.
I can't believe you actually committed to getting that one.
Let's see. Who is going in the box?
Yeah, I want to go back in the box.
Froggy is going in the box for right now.
Yeah, but you'll need him for the power to get to the power plant.
Oh yeah, but I can get him back later, right?
I think the Pokemon Center's still there.
Okay,
so you should be good.
I'm just doing that because he's not that useful right now. Oh, he's getting his ass kicked a lot.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to get a Water Stone and then, evolve it.
Hang on, I need to check and see if I have a Water Stone.
Alex, I'm gonna quit. No, actually, this question is not just for Alex. This is for the whole server, okay? What is fly kicking?
What?
Fly kick. That's a
What
good
is
question.
fly kicking? Because this guy kept asking you if you would fly kick something for X
Okay,
products.
Oh yeah, it's basically just like a jumping kick. I wanted to make sure that I was correct in my thought here, but yeah. Yeah, so whenever you see like somebody doing like a flying kick, that's like when they're jumping with one leg extended.
Like Kofi Kingston?
Yep.
I wish he had never gotten squashed by Palmer. That was dirty of them.
But yeah, so they
fight Zod.
They fight Zod, and Zod beats up Supergirl and uses a needle to stab through her back and incapacitate her, and then he uses a thing to extract the codex from her heart, killing her.
You should do a review show, dude.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah. And so, when Barry and other Barry go back in time to try and fix that, because Batman also died. The Michael Keaton Batman also died. And so they go back in time and they fix some... Peter can't learn more than 4 moves. Delete another move to make room for Flash? Sure.
Did you say beer?
Peter?
So Poison Sting, String Shot, Nightshade, or Leech Life? What should I forget?
Everything.
Let's... String Shot.
Okay. Yeah, so...
I'm back.
Supergirl dies, she gets stabbed through the back, and this works somehow, even though she was tanking high-caliber bullets earlier.
Oh, yeah?
And even though, like Ben said, oh, you know, it's because she hasn't been exposed to the yellow sun for very long. She just came out of a red sun environment, and she was tanking...
you're talking about our Ben, right?
Yes. She was talking about... She was tanking hits from fucking rifles. An assault rifle shoots much harder than you can hit with a fucking blade like that. And like Zod's Assassin's Creed blade, it is not going to hit harder or, you know, better than a sniper bullet. Like the weapons the Sword of Rao had weren't any more effective against Superman than the human weapons were, really. It was just that when they were in the, environment of the Black Zero, like, it dampened his powers. And, like, General Zod, tried sanding his face off on a fucking building. Like, he and Superman survived re-entry. They survived getting blown through a satellite. They survived all kinds of shit. Superman survived getting blown up a couple of times in Man of Steel. Like, this shitty fucking Assassin's Creed needle blade that Zod has strapped to his arm shouldn't be able to stab a, I got TM-47. Shouldn't be able to stab a Kryptonian powered up by the yellow sun. Like, am I wrong in thinking this? Because there's no, it's not magic, and there's no metal that Kryptonians are like...
Well, there's no magic yet.
I'm just saying that the blade itself isn't magical, and the, you know, Kryptonians don't have special weaknesses to their own types of metal, you know?
Yeah.
So the entire
unless it were coated in kryptonite, that's not gonna work.
No, and it's not. It would be green if it was. And so, like, Batman and the Flashes and these guys, as they all come together, and it's like they say,
right now,
oh, you
over
know,
me.
we're not gonna be able to take on. We're not gonna be able to kill these guys. We're only gonna be able to incapacitate them. And then Keaton kills a bunch of them. At the very least, it looks like he killed a bunch of them.
Does he sport a sadistic smile when he does so?
He sports a sadistic smile most of the time.
Okay, then that's Keaton Batman.
Yes. And then they keep going back in time. And eventually, like, mainline Barry tries to say to Flashpoint Barry that Flashpoint Barry, like, they can't keep trying to save her. It's like a, to quote Doctor Who, it's a fixed point in time, or to quote Across the Spider-Verse, it's a canon event.
They legitimately call it canon?
No, they don't call it a canon event, but they say it's a fixed point in time that you can't undo. It's something that can't be changed. And so we find out who Savitar is. Because Savitar busts in young Barry is like going back in time again. And because young Barry keeps getting like shit shoved into him by the Kryptonians. And as he's keeps trying to save Kara. And like she's apparently unsavable, even though she didn't really exist in this capacity in the mainline universe, so I have no idea how Barry came to that conclusion. So Savitar shows up and he says, time is irrelevant, and I have lived for a very long time trying to figure out how to solve this problem, and I've figured out what the one thing that's causing all of this is. You're the fixed point in this event that's keeping it from changing, and then I have to eliminate you. Okay, that's gonna cause a time paradox, motherfucker. And so, because, Barry doesn't want to die, he punches Savitar in the face really hard and reveals that it's an old man with a giant scar on his face. And then young Barry comes back and he's like, hang on, I think I got this figured out. And then he sees, oh shit, this is me from the future. Except instead of trying to figure out how to make Iris die, Savitar is trying to figure out how to make Supergirl live. And it's causing the entire multiverse to break down. And there's a bunch of nonsense, random cameos.
Time out.
Okay. Please
So
ask your questions.
So this whole villain's shtick is because he was too much of a simp for Supergirl to let her die. I'm getting Naruto flashbacks here. And not the good kind.
What do you mean?
Savitar wants to bring... He wants to figure out how to make sure that his waifu who survives to be in the next movie. And rather than going into the writer's room like Superboy Prime did.
How did she die, anyways?
She keeps... Oh, multiple ways. She got stabbed. She got her neck broken, like I alluded to earlier.
So she's like Kenny.
Like, they go through a bunch of stuff. And Zod, past Barry dressed up in the bootleg Batman suit, who is like he pops up, tries to save her, gets another piece of shit shoved into him, and gets his ass beat. Kara dies.
Maybe Fat Tony.
And there is a shot where Zod has his arms around her neck, the exact same way Superman had his arms around Zod's neck in Man of Steel. And it's a nice little reference, but yeah. So, because Savitar, aka aka Future Past Barry, has been traveling through time so much to try and figure out how to solve this problem. And keep his mom alive. Because he wants two things. He wants to keep his mom alive, and he wants to make sure that Supergirl lives. And when he does that, he causes all of the multiverses to start collapsing into each other. And when I say all of them, I very specifically mean Superman/Supergirl 1977, the George Reeves Adventures of Superman show, The Adam
I
West...
don't think I've ever said "why" this much in my life.
Yeah. The Adam West Batman show, a nondescript Jay Garrick Flash, who is not played by any notable actor, even though he's been played by several notable actors in recent years. And the one good aspect, Nicolas Cage's Superman from Superman Lives.
Hi, I'm Nicolas Cage. I finally get to be Superman.
Yeah, the canceled...
Wait, what do you mean it's... Wait, what do you mean
Superman project?
Wait a second, what do you...
And you remember how there was a robot spider in the draft for that movie?
Yeah.
And how it sounded really weird? They made it look really cool. They did a really good job. Like, there's an awesome thing where Superman's getting webbed up by the spiders, and he uses his heat vision to blast out and kill all the baby spiders and fly away. And he's like beating up and holding on to the thing's pincers and fighting it off. And then he turns around to look at the camera, and the CGI quality dips. But apparently Nicolas Cage actually did film all of his scenes, and then they CGI de-aged him. It's quite unfortunate that it doesn't look nearly as good as it did when they did it to Zamir Morrison in Aquaman, or indeed to the two actors who play Barry's parents in this movie.
Ay.
But, yeah, Christopher Reeve and what's-her-name who played Supergirl, George Reeve appearing is kind of suspect because he doesn't have any living relatives to authorize that, so it had to go through a legally dubious estate process. So that's interesting. I don't know why they did that instead of showing, I don't know, Tom Welling, Brandon Routh, fucking Tyler Hoechlin, the guy who plays him on the most recent TV show. You cut Henry Cavill out, but you got the guy who's been dead for 70-something years. Jesus Christ, man. And this ending here is like this bizarre cameo.
You start a review show, dude.
I have a review show. I just have a very hard time being able to edit.
Getting
I
off
have
the
a
ground.
shitload of stuff to do.
Wait, I got an idea. I know how you can get a following on your channel. Get Asa in one of your videos. Asa's really good at somehow promoting people. Because Razor Fist was a nobody before Ace Salieri came along.
Huh.
So,
Well,
yeah,
anyways,
Ace Salieri is good at boosting other people's, viewership. Gizmo, isn't that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Asa's like
wanna,
Paul Heyman of...
I don't want to bug him too much. But,
Yeah, let's not bother him too much on that.
Yeah, he said that he's open to do stuff on Thursdays, but Fridays he's not able to do anything.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He'd probably be weirded out by all the shit we do on Fridays, anyways.
I mean, he never did guarantee that he would show up, so
But yeah,
that's. I mean, we all agreed that we were
back to the plot, guys.
So back to the plot. The ending of this movie is Looper. Has anybody seen Looper?
No.
No.
No, but I've seen the Robot Chicken sketch with Elmer Fudd.
Okay, so Looper is a terrible, terrible movie by a terrible, terrible person named Ryan Johnson. And
Wait, is that the movie that has kids who teleport everywhere?
No. So Looper, that's Jumper. Looper is the movie with where they tried to convince us that Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis can be the same person.
And they failed to do so.
Yeah, they used some really bad prosthetics on both of them to try and make it look right. And so, the movie involves,
Is that why it
Bruce
bombed
Willis.
at the box office, Alex?
Huh?
Is that why it bombed at the box office, Looper?
Man, I don't fucking know. Bruce Willis comes back in time to try and prevent his wife's death at the hands of a cross between Magneto from the X-Men and Damian from the Omen, and he in the process of doing so, he basically creates the circumstances by which it's going to happen, and so Joseph Gordon-Levitt as young Joe shoots himself, and somehow that solves everything. And so young Barry saves modern Barry from future young Barry.
Your self-deletion.
Yeah, and when future young Barry shoves his knife arm through young Barry, that erases him. But for some reason, it doesn't erase regular Barry.
Huh.
I guess it's because he's from the
With all this
universe,
time
but
travel shenanigans going on, I would have thought that one of the Barrys would become Professor Zoom in the DC cinematic universe.
Okay, no, but you would have thought possibly, but like...
You get why, though. I mean, like, all this time travel shit, like, one of them is a paradox. How is Reverse Flash not on the mind?
That's a very good question. Like, and the whole plot revolves around Barry trying to prevent his mom's death. You know?
Right.
So yeah, so young Barry dies to save future Barry, regular Barry. And so regular Barry goes back in time, and, you know, he waves himself off, says, you know, no, don't do it, and, you know, then he says goodbye to his mom, and it's all very sweet and touching, and then, but he does one little thing. He sets it up so that his dad has to look up, and that's really good. And so his dad looks right at the security camera, so he has an alibi. Now, you know what that should mean? That should mean that his dad has always been free. His dad never went to prison. Unfortunately, that's not what happened.
Because that would be a sane man's world.
Yes.
That would make too much sense.
So instead, their lawyer just uses that to argue in court. Oh yeah, this is definitive proof that Henry Allen he was at the store when his wife died. As though we couldn't have used... As though
he used the Chewbacca defense.
Yeah. As if we couldn't have come up with that 20 years ago when we just looked, oh yeah, this guy is dressed exactly like him and looks exactly like him, yeah, he's in the clear. He has no motive, he has no means, and he definitely doesn't have opportunity. He may have had opportunity had he been there, but he didn't have motive. And he's not a yellow-clad speedster capable of vibrating his arms through people's bodies. You know?
If it doesn't fit,
nor is he one that likes to twerk over her Scarlet speedsters.
So when they get out of the courtroom, Barry gets on the phone with Bruce Wayne and somehow doesn't recognize that his voice is different. And guess who shows up? It's George fucking Clooney.
That's awesome, kinda. Why the third Batman change?
Adam West was also in this movie.
What?
Yeah.
Because George Clooney is actually an actor, I think. I mean, he was a good actor.
Christopher were. They used archive footage mapped onto a body.
Hold up, I gotta remove my headphones for this.
Rick! I'm sorry, the start of that was hilarious, Gizmo.
Yeah. And then, oh yeah, so Cyborg is mentioned in this movie, but he's not actually there, you know.
Cyborg decided he didn't want to be a part of the Justice League, so he joined up with the Titans.
He had to make sure he was the show.
Aquaman is drunk, Wonder Woman shows up at the end of the film, Superman, I believe it cuts away right before Superman was supposed to show up, and this film has 3 different endings.
Hold up, though. Wonder Woman or Wonder Woman Queen of Atlantis?
Okay, so Wonder Woman shows up and she can fly. So Wonder Woman 1984 is definitely canon.
Huh.
It just
Okay.
raises a number of questions as to why she didn't fly in Justice League or BVS. Or if she could fly, why she didn't fly over to America to help out with the fucking Black Zero incident.
I mean,
We coming to America.
I guess they tried to look for a reason for her to.
She sure seemed eager to
invisible
help
jet, I
out
guess.
with Doomsday, but you know, I can believe her not being able to help out if she was on a different continent. But that all
Right,
goes
but
out the
not
window
wanting
if she
help.
can fly.
I get her not being able to help, but not wanting to help is another story.
Like, if I'm Wonder Woman, I'm at least gonna try, and I can fly, I'm at least gonna try to fly out there. There's like, fuck it. If I die, the whole planet's going in too, so it's not gonna matter if I die trying, you know?
Yeah.
Like, at least the fucking Flash was there at the Black Zero incident. Like, for as little sense as that actually makes, like, he was in a makeshift suit and he was actually doing shit. I wish they would find a way to not constantly undercut themselves and make fun of themselves. I want to see what this movie was like before the reshoots. I want to see, because if it was worse than this, I genuinely want to see that film. As it is, this is almost a perfect 5 out of 10, because it is too confusing for me to be able to rate lower. I'll probably change my rating as I go on, because, like, none of this makes any sense. Like, this only makes sense if we're already in an alternate universe at the start of the film, and, like, Barry goes back in time after this movie. We need to unfuck things more, and that's what gets us, you know, the regular continuity for the DCU, right? Because, like, okay, Keaton showing up, that doesn't make any sense, because if, you know, Barry going back in time, how did him changing what happened in 2005 to his mom make it so that Superman didn't come to Earth and, like, let's see, Clark was 33 in 2013, so he would have come to Earth in 1980, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was born in 1980, and traveled to Earth using the Phantom Drive. Arrived shortly thereafter. Batman, you know, he was born in the 70s, but Batman specifically, he was born in 1981, when the Waynes died. So, what are we looking at here, guys? Like, what's the deal? Well, how did
People are
Barry
still mad over people are still mad over Zack Snyder's decision to kill Nightwing. Which
Nightwing?
He would have, you know, I can understand not
Richard
liking that,
Grayson.
but at the same time, I'm like, he had a reason, and there was gonna be other stuff going on, and honestly, you don't want to make it super complicated if you're having to deal with something like that, because
it's a shame he'll never get to elaborate on that because James Gunn is an idiot.
Yeah, because trying to, like if you're trying to communicate to the audience is like, okay, hey, so Robin died. Okay, so it's the Robin everybody knows, right? No, well, that guy's still alive. Okay, so who's the Robin who died? Well, that was the second Robin. And I was like, okay, when did that happen? Okay, so after the original Robin and went off to go form this other team that doesn't exist. Okay, and now we've gone too far. Now we have to roll things back and figure out how to simplify this. And that's probably why they made it Dick Grayson.
Okay, then. That's fair enough.
I could have accepted it being Jason Todd if they'd have gone on to make, like, 2 Batman movies. Where, like, one was a prequel with, like, him and Robin. And then the second one was, like, Robin and, you know, Robin leaving and him recruiting Jason. And then Jason, and, like, you know, Jason dies later on on in a third film, but they didn't, they didn't necessarily have all of that, and DC sure as fuck wasn't gonna let them have all of that. And so with the limited screen time they had available to them, excuse me, it did make sense. Unfortunately, they never got an opportunity to elaborate on that, and now never will, because James Gunn apparently decided that, oh yeah, I'm just gonna cut Henry Cavill out of The Flash, even though, the film is literally built around his character's, journey to Earth, and how it got fucked up. I'm at the Kanto power plant now.
Yeah, just go up to the they're gonna get a call all about it, and then about where the person was sighted, and then they're gonna ask you to go find them. That's when you go to Cerulean City.
Okay. Someone made off with a part that's essential for the generator. The new generator is useless without that part. So, like, this is not the kind of plot that can come to a single sane mind. This is clearly the
plot of...
Trio. No, I do not have a Doug Trio, and I'm not going to trade for a Magneton. This is clearly the plot of several people who were either crazy or on some form of drugs, because this doesn't make a lick of sense. There is a lot of great ideas in this film that are not brought to fruition, and unfortunately, because the Flash TV show has done so much, I can't help but compare it to it. And the Flash TV show is terrible, but it's better than this.
Okay, then.
Like, Barry going back in time to save his mom. Barry waving himself off trying to save his mom. Barry, this ultimately deciding, fuck it, I'm going through with it, and I'm gonna deal with this shit. And changing the whole timeline and whatnot. And okay, that, the shit with Wally somehow being the Flash, they didn't explain it well, but he didn't lose his powers when he fucked up the timeline. It just rearranged things,
Yeah.
Hey, Cerulean, shady character has been loitering around. Could I ask for your cooperation? I'm 10, so sure.
Hey, by the way, it's the last Team Rocket Grunt you'll ever face in the game.
So now, I guess that is my cue to go to Cerulean City and deal with this shit.
Just try entering. Upon entering the gym, the Team Rocket Grunt will run past you. After you beat him, he'll tell you he left it in the Cerulean gym, but it's an item that you gotta find by going around and finding an invisible tile.
Hey, Mr. Power Plant Man, wouldn't this normally be a job for the police? Well, yeah, but, last time I talked to Officer Jenny, she said I was too old for
her. 10 years old.
Gizmo, you, might not have seen a certain abridged series.
I think, yeah. Did you get it? No, you didn't get it, did you?
No.
Okay, so when you get...
In Pokemon Bridge, there's a running gag that Officer Jenny is a pedophile.
Well, that's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, so Alex, after you beat the Team Rocket Grunt, go back into the gym and go to the top left of the pool in the middle of the gym path and press A as you are about to surf, and you'll find the machine part.
City.
I thought it was Viridian City.
I'm changing the lyrics because my destination is different.
See, don't you think Kanto's kind of a breeze in comparison to Johto?
Well, I'm almost twice the level of all of these guys, so yes.
Yeah, that's
kind of what happens when you don't really scale to your progress.
The only the hardest, probably the only hard part of Kanto is Pokemon Trainer Red.
Yeah, and I already demonstrated that he is a tough customer.
Ooh, did you ever? I don't think I was there. I think
You were.
I don't remember if I was there or not. Was I there?
Yes.
All
You've
right.
been here since the beginning of the stream, dude.
Oh, you beat him today? Fuck.
I'm
Yeah.
in Cerulean City.
I didn't even pay attention. I
I'm
was
at the
listening
Cerulean
to
City
Alex's-
Gym.
I was listening to Alex's spoilerific review of The Flash.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and write all that down and make a video, but I still have to get my video review of The Little Mermaid done. And I haven't even started video editing on that. That I literally only have part of a script.
You should hire Drunken Punk to edit your video.
I am not going to hire Drunken Punk to edit my videos.
You know they're not going to get that reference.
Hey Gizmo, he's finally educated himself on the Drunken Punk.
Oh, who?
Alex, he knows
Oh,
who
Oi.
Punk
He
is.
knows- he's up to date about that now.
You
What?
guys made sure I was up to date about that. So, the Team Rocket grunt ran away.
To the Nugget, to where the Nugget Bridge is, and he's there.
I actually cloned Drunken Punk's voice too on 11 Labs. I showed Gizmo and Gizmo laughed.
Nugget Bridge, favorite hangout.
Gizmo, didn't I
raid
show you
under
these
Dank
secretly?
Pods.
Yes.
What?
I made deep fakes of Drunken Punk 800.
Is that another Alex? Was that another
Vocal.
Pokemon Bridged reference you made, or no?
No, I was making a reference to the YouTuber Dank Pods,
Ah, okay. My
aka
bad.
Wade. Because he calls all of the things he reviews nuggets. Where is Nugget Bridge? I believe this is Nugget Bridge. You're a suspicious-looking character dressed in all black.
Yeah, he'll try to hide between a couple who are looking over the bridge.
I'm
Secret, it
blaming
is my
your
mission,
name
so
here.
tell you
Yeah,
I'm
you
not.
can't do that,
But
my coon
If
friend.
when you do versus me, a man I be, and mine secret to you I tell. Are you German?
Fuck.
He's
sounds-
he's a foreigner.
Yeah, that sounds vaguely German.
Oh, so in lieu of Twitch changing up their rules again, Kick posted up a video called #PickKick, and this is pretty hilarious. I gotta screen share this. Hold on. Let's see here.
I do apologize if I'm spending quite a bit of time I'm grinding. If I had Trico or Mudkip, I'd already have beaten the first gym leader.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You had
Okay.
one fucking goal bat.
There you go.
Hey Rob, what do you think of the new
You
iPhone?
had a goal bat. And you thought you could challenge me. I beat your ass with a Firo.
I beat your ass with the Furo. Oh wait,
Inside
that's
water, put it I did. Look for in water for center of gym at You Forget Me Not. Beat you for sure.
Get me
Team Rocket.
Largo.
I'm pretty
Dude,
sure
what the hell? What is with the...
You say what? Team Rocket,
still
bye
got
bye,
all
a
this
go go,
effort?
broken it is. You says you. Oh no!
Go on.
Should I do what now on from me?
Kevin, look at
I can
Gizmo's
only-
screen. Look at how
Okay.
many tabs he's got open.
You know, I can
names.
only assume that Team
There you go,
Rocket member
Gizmo. You're
jumped
getting
off
out
the
of this
bridge
one. I'm going to screenshot you.
and died on the rocks below.
Anyway, like
I'd
I said, now
consider that a happy ending.
anyway, like I said, Alex, just go back into the gym and go to the top left after the pool on the middle of the gym path. That basically walk around on the path you would go to walk on to take on Misty. And press A if you were about to surf and you'll find the missing machine part.
Oh, I get to take on Misty in the game? I thought that wasn't allowed in these kind of games.
Ooh, double kick.
Oh, you mean take on Misty? Oh, no, never mind.
And by the way, Torchic is the start of a trend that would repeat itself on the top left of the pool in the middle of the gym path. As in, walk on the gym path and go to the top left portion of it and press A.
Facing downwards?
You're able to see the video, right?
No, facing... No.
Oh, I found it.
All right, now go back to the power plant, return the part, and get at your radio tower card. That way, you'll be able to listen to the Poke Flute, which, by the way, that's necessary if you want to move that Snorlax out of the way of Diglett Cave.
Okay.
I think you guys really got to see this video, man. It's a really good burn. It's pretty much like the...
I wish I could, Gizmo, but I am trying to concentrate.
Oh, you're live. Okay.
Yeah, I'm video sharing this.
I do apologize, Gizmo. Oh, like I said. Give me one.
I got it. I got it popped up. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
okay. All right, hold on.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
Why are you doing this?
This would sink Twitch. Absolutely psychotic thing to do. 3% of screen size. Crazy. Now on Kick, offering a 95% split for creators. 95%. This company, Kick.
Hassan Piker,
Yeah.
Isn't Hassan the guy who tried to chop Daffy Duck?
Yep.
Hassan Chop.
So now even Hassan is freaking out and siding with Kick.
Hassan Chop.
Oh yeah, by the way, if anybody wanted to know, is this movie worth the decade-plus wait we got? No, it wasn't.
No.
And the fact that they could have made 5 different movies. They could have made.
What would you rate it?
Movies.
Well, I feel like if it's, I gotta see it for myself. I feel.
Alex,
like
what would you rate it?
I already said 5 out of 10.
Oh,
because it is bafflingly stupid.
So it's meh. So it's just meh then, because it's a 5 out of 10.
Well, you said it's what now? You said it's stupid?
It's a 5 out of 10, but it's baffling. You know, like, there's a lot of bad decisions and a lot of good decisions and a lot of stuff that would make sense if they actually, like, did it right, but then they have
like a comic book.
Kind of. That's not a bad comparison, because this is...
It really isn't.
This is just as fucked up as modern DC continuity.
And most of the stuff that happened in the 90s and early 2000s. Like, keep in mind, people thought that Blue Electric Superman was the greatest thing ever, along with taking away
Superman
powers.
was awesome.
It was awesome, but how many people are asking for it back?
I'd rather that than this. I'd rather that than Superman Legacy.
True.
Give me Blue Henry Cavill over whatever the fuck Legacy is gonna be.
If they decide to do another multiverse thing, I would at least like to see Electric Blue Superman make a sort of a comeback, just to show that.
I want to see Superman Lives with Superman, an animated movie with Superman voiced by Nicolas Cage, and them adapting what they made for this movie into a film. Because that's...
I want to see them bring back the key, like they did in the Justice League comic.
Oh, yeah. But this one sequence with Nicolas Cage's Superman fighting the giant spider, that's great. And for those of you who are wondering where that giant spider wound up going, well...
Look up Superman Doomsday.
I was going to say, have you ever seen the movie Wild Wild West?
Wild Wild West.
Well, I was talking more Superman-related stuff.
That's another guilty pleasure of mine. I know.
Yeah.
Wicked, wow, West.
It is, but I love it. The fact that the fact that they got a genius to make inventions based off of the Wild West time period is really genius. It's always steampunk or medieval times or the far future. We never really saw anything like that in the Wild West era.
But the giant robot spider from that is because that film was written by the same screenwriter who was working on Superman Lives.
Oh man, it was so fucking stupid, but I still loved it.
And the giant robot spider in this was freaking cool. Like, I desperately want to see them make this movie. Like make this movie in the next year.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Page.
We also
Page,
didn't
and I'm
get
here
to
to
see,
be your Superman.
I'm gonna have to wrap it up now, I think. But we also didn't get to see any animated movies in here. Or there were no.
I really wish DC would start airing their animated movies in theaters for once, because
I mean, they did have Reign of the Superman as a Fathom event, but that's about it.
Fathom events don't count.
Yeah,
Fathom
but that's just a Fathom event. Those are like those don't count.
The reason I'm not going to the local screening of The Room is because it's a Fathom event. Like, Fathom events are some of the most poorly run shows I've ever seen.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna take off.
Like,
I'm gonna take off as well. So next time on the Mehcast, we will be doing I will be doing more Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, and Alex, I believe you're continuing with the Sonic tutorial.
Sonic 4 Episode 2.
The tutorial.
Yes, because that game's tutorial is never ending. But yeah, Gizmo, what were you gonna say? Sorry about that.
What was I saying?
You were saying something about how you want them to put the movies on in theaters, right?
Yeah, I legitimately do, because there are too many DC movies out there that are animated.
Yeah, there are a
They
lot of
haven't
DC
stuck to home video, or they don't release.
there.
It's just not funny. Even the ones that are considered just okay, that would have been great to see in theaters. Like, I'm talking stuff like the modern day stuff, like the Red Hood, the TMNT versus Batman, even the classics like Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, Batman Mask of the Phantasm. That had a theater release. But
I would have loved to see Judas Contract in theaters.
Oh,
you know what?
Yeah, that would be.
Okay, I have an idea. DC Comics could... Here's a way they could do this. They could promote the movie and get the movie in people's hands this way. Hey, you go to the movie theater, you buy a ticket to go see, just picking a name, like Batman The Doom That Came to Gotham, because that's the one that I can see right now. You buy a ticket to go see The Doom That Came to Gotham in theaters. It's a little more expensive. It's gonna be like $15-20, but you watch the movie and you get out of the theater, they hand you a copy of the movie on Blu-ray. Like, you pay a little bit extra for your ticket, you get to see it in the theater. They make a little extra money in the theater for showing it there, and then you get a copy of the film to take home. Does that sound reasonable to you guys?
I think that would have to go through test marketing first, and even then,
obviously,
it's weird.
It's a weird ass thought, but like you can see where I'm coming from with this, right?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. That would be an interesting idea.
Yeah, but the thing is, DC doesn't make enough animated movies as it is they put
not anymore.
They shit out like 3 a year, and they're usually not based on anything good. And
Superman Year One. The Superman, what was it? Year One? No, not Year One.
We haven't gotten a Year One movie.
Man of Tomorrow.
The one where he gave Lois Lane powers. All Star Superman.
Yeah, that one was good. Unlike All Star Batman comic.
Really good Superman movie. Oh, excuse me. I would like to see that in theaters. Imagine the music. Hearing that blaring in the speakers.
Man, they have a 4K version of it. It's an upscale, but they can show it at a 4K theater.
Well, anyway, I'm signing off now, so
Yeah, me
talk to
too.
you laters.
Yep. Don't forget
Bye.
to like, comment, and
Beautiful
subscribe. And
time.
don't leave
What's up
us
with
if you're gonna leave us weird comments, then have them be funny at least. Don't have it be like edgy bullshit that makes me want to ban people.
Yeah.
Because I very rarely want to ban people. Well, when I see shit like that, it's like, okay, go fuck yourself, man.
Anyway, bye.